That was not what I wanted to do. There we go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Give It Podcast. Podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, guys, you are most certainly welcome here. We are your hosts of the most. Tafari TV, Showa Guy Joe, myself, Black Spartan, and of course, Chad with me as special guest. Fellas, how we doing this evening?
It's been a good week for television.
Ain't that the truth?
Yep. My arms are sore because I've been moving things, and then work called me in to come in for 3 hours to help cover shift change between morning and night shift for no reason. And then came back and moved more things.
Did you get time and a half for that, or was that part of your...
No. I not only did I get time and a half, I was overly dramatic about it.
Oh, brother, you're good.
Right. Shoot, you made it work. But as you can see, guys, we are a little bit leveled up, so we do try to watch our language, but words do fly. At the same time, guys, there may be trailers of video games, movies that are shown that might be too graphic for younger viewers. So viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So, like we said, it's been a great day. It's been a great week for television. But we got to start with the elephant in the room. By now, it has been seen, the teaser for Fantastic Four. So if you have not seen it, here it is.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
A-5. Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here. Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together. As a family.
And as you can see, guys, that was the trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps. Will be coming out July 25th of this year. Fellas, thoughts?
Hey, move, Smurf, get out the way.
I feel bad about the Smurfs. We do have that trailer coming up. Joe, what about you?
I mean, we had Barbenheimer, now we get Super Fantastic.
Is that what we're calling it?
We're calling it Super Fantastic.
I'm here for it. I'm not. I don't want either movie to fail. I'm here for a good old Marvel DC box office clash where neither one is a bad film.
Right.
I mean, our alternative was Man 4, so Super Fantastic it is.
Smurfs will be a casualty of war. I'm sorry.
Oh God, yeah, no. I actually saw the Black Nerd comedy. Even he was like, I'm not entirely feeling this because this is retreading too much stuff. But as to the trailer we've seen, I love it. Mm-hmm. I wonder if this is going to be because they emphasize being at dinner at 7 p.m. sharp.
Yeah.
That this is just going to be a week of the Fantastic Four, and it's going to be like Monday 2:47. The next week as Galactus comes, like Galactus, like Sunday 2:16 p.m. So like a week-long thing of Galactus and everything. Yeah. People are pointing out that Reed's already working out on alternate reality tech.
Yeah.
I've seen people say that the old man is Nathaniel Richards, which makes no sense considering there are rumors that Kevin Feige is letting Jonathan Majors come back to the MCU.
Yeah, that is a big rumor. That is a big rumor if he is going to let him replace Kang.
anything just to tie up King. And unfortunately, I think Jonathan Majors may be walking back into the movie just to see himself massacred by Doom.
I keep saying I could full on see what they leave behind the plans for the multiverse bridge. You don't need a Doom who's shown how. He just needs to know that it can be done. And the next time you see him, he comes through holding Kang's helmet or something, and it's like, where have you been? Eliminating the competition. Battle ensues. That'd be
there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much how you write King off. At the same time,
I think the old man might be Boris.
I got about 3 different guesses, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be wrong on all 3 of them.
Yeah, I got nothing. I could be. I can tell it's going to be. It's not. I'm not going to catch it.
Not Mo Man.
No, it's Mo Man and can't be Nathaniel Richards since they cast Jonathan Majors as King.
Right.
So that would mean that Pedro Pascal is white, black, and Mexican. If that was the thing, if that was supposed to be Nathaniel Richards.
Yeah.
If we do have a Council of Reeds, I would not be shocked to see John Krasinski show up again.
Right.
That old man could be one of the Council Reeds. I didn't think about that. I said I'm leaning towards Boris because you got to have Doom in here at some point.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a very small cameo.
It'll probably be on the cameo. It'll probably be on the cameo side, but you're right.
Everything else I think is fantastic. Not to name the pun, not for the pun joke, but the Thing looks amazing. Like the Thing has never looked bad. Like none of the movie things have ever looked bad, but this is like the most accurate thing we've had. The McCormick thing is
the one. I was gonna say the Fantastic Four we don't talk about.
The one with Chris Evans?
And Four Stick?
Or the other one?
The other one.
Oh,
the one with Killmonger as Johnny Storm.
Yeah. That's the Fantastic Four.
No, actually, he looks good for Ultimate Thing.
The Ultimate Thing,
he looks. Well, they're based off the Ultimate Fantastic Four, so that is a comic book accurate thing. But this thing, no, this looks amazing. I love the fact that it's got Herbie.
Yes,
that makes me happy. I'm just sad that Stan the Mailman won't be in this one.
Yeah.
And who was it? Who played Sue in the first 2 movies? I'm blanking on the name. Yeah, what's with all of a sudden Jessica Alba praise? Like y'all didn't rip her apart for like 15 years. All of a sudden, like people
because they're fickle.
This internet has been weird. The internet has been weird all week. They'll never.
Yeah, especially with Invisible Woman, they want her less visible.
Yeah.
They always want her powers turned on for some reason. I don't get it.
It was weird because when Jessica Alba first came on, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna just make her blonde," and then she really tried to do her best in the second one with the Rise of Silver Surfer, and it's like you still tore her down. So now that we have another Fantastic Four First Steps and another Sue Storm, it's like, well, we had Jessica Alba. The internet is fickle. It's like you get down with one thing and then you want to come back to it.
And then they're complaining about how her powers are. It's like, no, it's a field or a cone refracting light. That's exactly how I would imagine her powers to look like in the thing. It's not like we're going to get dotted lines across the screen from the old animated series, or just a white cone, or just a white translucent cone. We're actually going to be like, we have the technology to show a projectile reflected light.
What were you going to say, Chad?
I would think that I've seen some rumors going that they might put Franklin and Valeria in it, but I personally don't think they will. I hope, because I like they were saying, Reed was studying wormholes.
Mm-hmm.
What if, as Galactus destroys that world, that version of Earth, and the Fantastic Four goes to the wormhole? Maybe Doom finds his way into the wormhole, or somehow, and ends up in a different area. And that's how they're going to bring in a different Doctor Doom, which will be Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom.
That would be foreshadowing, but go ahead.
It could trigger an event or something where a Doom is sent to another the main MCU universe.
Well, here's the thing though, you have to tie it. Well, for Fantastic Four, they have to catch up. Remember, this starts off in the 60s. So where we are with Fantastic Four, it starts in the 60s. For it to catch up with the current MCU, it has to go several different ways. Now, will we see? Now, we all agree we will see Doom in some aspect, but majority of this movie, we're going to see Galactus.
Yeah.
I
And then
don't think we'll see Valeria. There's a good chance we may see Franklin because we don't know how far into the marriage this is.
Yeah.
So there's a chance we may, at least may see Franklin.
Yeah, it's possible. But
The one thing they didn't show us was the female surfer who is an actual comic book thing.
Yeah, I was waiting to see when. Hey, look, they got the chance to do the funniest thing. If they have Silver Surfer fly by a live-action Hank Hill, we can recreate the old Fox promos.
Now, Mr. Surfer, I have imbued your board with propane. It runs smoother than the Power Cosmic.
That was the most red. That was the era of just two. They're animated. Throw them together.
Right.
Hank Hill from King Hill?
Oh, have you not seen that thing?
No, it's. I was like barely conscious when those used to come up. So they used to do these promos, Chad, where they would just throw cartoons together and they would use them to promote each other. So they did
It was when King of the Hill was new, and it was promoting the Saturday night lineup.
Yeah.
King of the Hill would talk. Hank Hill would talk to the Silver Surfer about using propane for his board. There was a promo from Warner Brothers where all the Batman villains were playing.
Nope, we're running it. We're running it.
Yeah. Wait, what? Say again?
There was one the one with the when Pokemon was new and they had I think all Joker and all the DC villains were playing cards in an episode of Batman the Animated Series, but they swapped out the cards and the voice line for Pokemon cards.
Oh, yeah.
And then Ash Ketchum, I think, walks in. There's Chad, if you get bored, look up Cartoon Network City. Those it was basically like a bunch of those.
So it was kind of like the new promos, like Knuckles and stuff like that.
Here, I already put the promo in here. Let's just run the show.
They take shows that will never be on screen together, but because it's commercials, they just throw them together. Like there was one Ben 10 where he talks to the entire Justice League and body sandwich.
So before we get to that, we do kind of have to show Smurfs because again, Smurfs was again put in that awkward position of will it make money or will it not? But
probably won't.
Why are we advertising a dead man walking?
I was gonna say, why are we watching this?
Because we have to show it. Because again, because
it's Rihanna? Is this the real talk? Real question. Is the only reason we're running this trailer because of Rihanna?
No,
I will accept honesty.
Black Panther did a good job selling on new Rihanna music. Just selling us on just Rihanna, and I don't know if that's going to work for kids because Smurfs was great for like our generations, but I feel like I feel like Smurfs has been completely replaced by Trolls, which has been in second place for so long, and now there's this giant gap. It's like, would kids even pull it? It'll be appealing to kids, but do kids even know Smurfs anymore?
And half of this movie is rehash of two other movies.
Okay. That's the point I'm getting to. I'm getting to that point.
First. I'm Rihanna, and I play Smurfette in the new Smurfs movie, and I can't wait for you all to see it this summer. So check out the new trailer right now.
This summer, when we need a hero, look up.
I think I just smurfed my pants.
Please don't stop the music.
In Smurf Village, every day is a party. Every Smurf has a job, like Grouchy.
I ain't having a job.
Influencer.
Smash that subscribe button.
And me, the coolest Smurf in the whole village.
Yep, isn't it grand living in a place where nothing ever goes wrong?
Oh no, something's wrong. Everyone, listen to me. Your lives are in terrible danger. Smurf Village isn't safe anymore.
This July.
Come on, we gotta rescue Papa.
To save their world. What a word. They must come to ours.
Where are we?
It's Paris.
Get out of the way.
Come on,
I'm Papa Smurf's brother. You Smurfs don't know Smurf about Smurf.
I can smurf that Smurf up and have it delivered to your house.
That sounds like a load of Smurf.
Hey, stick a Smurf in it.
They will face new villains.
This is the handiwork of the evil wizards Gargamel and his brother Rosmel.
we're going to play a game called Let's Squish a Smurf Till All You Smurfs Are Squashed.
That doesn't sound like a fun game. Team up with new allies.
We're the International Neighborhood Watch Smurfs, Paris Division.
Take adventure.
It's time for you to find out what a Smurf really is.
To a whole new dimension.
What's happening? Hang on! That was absolutely terrifying.
I think I swallowed my gum.
Food delivery for Rosmel the Wizard.
So you can just order any kind of food from anywhere.
Absolutely. Just make sure you tip the driver ahead of time or they'll lick everything.
Okay, that was the reason why I wanted to play it, because Joe, you were about to go into it. Tafari, you're about to go into it. It's literally the same movie from the first two, and it just got remixed. This is why I hate to say it, and I'm just being honest. I think that movie is not going to do well, especially when you put it up against two other movies that are already slated to do well. I'm just saying. It's that, I mean, you guys saw it, and I wanted, and don't get me wrong, it is directed to kids. This is true. But from a story standpoint, it's the same story as before. So it's like, you're pretty much asking for it.
Yeah, so considering that it's going to be in the same gap between a rated R Jurassic World movie, a Marvel movie that's supposed to do well, and a Superman movie that looks amazing, I don't think it's going to do that.
Mr. Surfer.
Doggone it. Okay. It played early. So this is what they were talking about, Chad.
Mr. Surfer, have you ever considered propane as an alternative energy source for that board of yours? With a little retooling, I could get it to work. Tell you what I'm going to do. Being that you're my neighbor and I like you, I'm going to give you the new neighbor discount and a free t-shirt. So what do you say?
Take a ride on the Cosmic Tide on an all-new Silver Surfer. Next, as Fox Kids Heads for the Hills continues.
Just think, with repeat business like that, I could eventually be supplying propane galaxy-wide.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
That is one of the greatest pieces of cinema I've ever seen in my entire life.
There were a lot more, but that was one of them. But yeah, I'm not expecting. No, go ahead, Joe.
Back to the Smurfs. Let's run this down. We're going back to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
This may take place in the same continuity as the Neil Patrick Harris, because Smurfette is totally chill with all the modern age stuff.
Uh-huh.
The Neighborhood Watch Society Smurfs is just the female Smurfs from Smurf Village from the fully animated Good Smurfs movie, which has its own show, which continues that continuity. We get Nick Offerman Smurf, which is probably the only thing that intrigues me this entire time. I can literally just see him going into things. I know more than you.
Of course, it's Nick Suarez, it's Nick Offerman, which again, that dude is funny as all get out.
It's Ron Swanson. It's Ron Swanson Smurf.
Ron Swanson Smurf. Sorry, I'm
Ron
thinking.
Smurfson.
Is John Goodman playing the Papa Smurf?
Yes, that's his voice.
I'm curious if that's the most we hear of him, like beginning and end. Like, was the entire budget on Rihanna and licensing her music, which I'm not mad at. She's very much in her mother phase and doing things that her kids would probably adore and can go to. So I'm very much here for her motherhood era. It's just y'all could like an original track, because y'all got to do something to get this movie.
I'm just saying, when you put it up, you're putting it up against Superman and you're putting it up against Fantastic Four. Yeah,
they are literally getting stepped on. They are, and is this the end? So is this a third one? Did Joe just crash?
Yeah, Joe come back.
Is this a whole new continuity? Because I didn't see the other two. There it is.
Yeah, it's the third Smurf movie, if I'm right.
Yeah,
Fourth.
I think.
Sorry, fourth.
So
Two Neil Patrick Harris ones, and they had the fully CG one, which was actually really good.
I
Where
heard.
they find the all-female Smurf village
Gotcha.
Okay.
on the other side of the forest.
So this is following those other three then.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
The
sorry, no.
third Smurf movie is its own movie.
Okay.
Yes, Chad.
So, what were the 2011 Smurfs movies? Were those ones good?
Those were the Neil Patrick Harris ones.
Oh.
That's where Hank Azaria was actual live-action Gargamel.
Is it bad that I remember more on the Trolls movies than I do around the Smurf movies? That's pretty bad.
The thing I remember most about the Neil Patrick Harris one is that was the last role of Jonathan Winters because he was Papa Smurf.
We gonna say Fry?
That's what I'm saying. Like Trolls have always been like around, but they were never popular. But I've never watched a single one. But like everybody I know under the age of like 10 is addicted to those Trolls movies, and
they're actually not bad.
I've heard that. Like,
no, they're not bad.
When we had them at the Dollar Theater, our theater was packed every day, especially when we did because it was a discount theater, so we'd have summer camps coming, the schools coming, all kinds of different summer programs, large families, and I'm like, between this and Zootopia, I didn't know Trolls made a comeback like that. So I felt like whatever movie about short little creatures there is, I feel like Smurfs got knocked off their throne a long time ago by Trolls, and I don't know if they're gonna get that spot back.
Right.
So how long has Trolls been around?
A good decade by now.
Like
several decades.
Yeah. It's been around for a while, but
the Trolls have been toys longer than they've been movies or TV shows, and Smurfs have been shows forever since like the beginning of the
60s. I'm about to say since the late 50s, early 60s.
They've had a very long run, but Trolls overtook them, I'd say, this last decade. So good luck.
Oh, Charlie Brown's been around way longer than that.
Yeah, Charlie Brown fell off.
Charlie Brown fell. You know what? We're gonna move on.
We don't have a rival to the Peanuts gang. We
really don't. When did they ever fall off?
They didn't fall off. They just went to the worst streaming service because Apple, of all the things for Apple to grab.
Right. I mean, come on now. Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. The Great Pumpkin. It's the Great Pumpkin.
The Great Pumpkin. Oh, so I was watching a rap battle with my cousin. Basically, it's called Animation versus Everything. And they would put cartoon characters up against each other and make them rap. They did one for Eric Cartman from South Park and Charlie Brown. And they had a twist with what's her name, like the black-haired person with the blue dress on.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown. Yeah, she kind of called Eric Cartman an object.
Well, it's Eric Cartman. Again, I don't know why you should know about Eric Cartman. You should be watching South Park.
No, watch South Park.
I heard the Franklin movie was actually like a tearjerker. I just never got a chance to see it. Franklin will have you cutting onions. I'm not gonna lie, it really will have that. But before we move on to other trailers, some other quick news we need to cover because nobody saw this coming in 2025 after it's shut down. Rooster Teeth will actually be returning under the ownership of its original founders, Warner Brothers, aka Zaslav. Has actually pulled the plug on Rooster Teeth in 2024, and it's been around for 2+ decades. However, one of the original owners has actually acquired the rights to the brand and much of its quote-unquote remaining assets. Now, at this point, it's still kind of a gray area as far as what's being brought back with Rooster Teeth. Again, for all of us that used to watch it, it was a great network. There was a lot of great shows that came from it. But as of right now, we don't know exactly what's coming back or what's actually going to be shown or how it's going to be brought up. Let's just say we hope they learn their lessons from G4. But fellas, any thoughts on that? I think G4 was doing fine. They just didn't need to make that weird grandstand that they made and just like annoy everybody. Because I feel like that single-handedly tanked their platform. Because
I'm not going to lie, they overdid it. Like G4, I was happy for it to come back, but you didn't have to go G4 in the later years before it got shut down. Like all you saw was Attack of the Show and what was the other show other thing they showed? Because they got away. Yeah, they kind of got away with what actually made G4 actually fun to watch. But like I said, I was kind of hoping Rooster Teeth doesn't do the same thing. Just say you're back. Just go back to business as usual. Show the quality shows that we like, and let that be the end of it. It's not that hard.
So what are they? Ruby and what? Red versus Blue was like one of their first series, right?
Yeah.
Red versus Blue, Ruby, and Genlock. Genlock was a great season 1 show, and then just immediately fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Ruby, they don't have the rights to anymore. Viz Media has that.
Good luck getting back.
Right.
Yeah. And Red versus Blue is going to be dependent on Microsoft, but also no one really cares as much about Halo as it used to.
Red versus Blue was like the first show based out of like what mods of a game, right?
No, just pure camera work.
It was just pure camera work, but just mostly Halo.
What is Rooster Teeth?
Rooster Teeth is gonna have to be Rooster Teeth for you is gonna be something I have to show you when you're older.
It's like Machinima. They made their own original content using pre-existing IP or games.
Again, when you're older.
So have you ever seen a bridge to anime?
Again, when you're older.
Okay.
When you're older. Not right now, when you're older. But no. But no, hopefully we'll see what they do when they come back. But yeah, a lot of that content, like I said, Ruby being taken over by Viz. I'm just curious to see what they're gonna show. But either way, we're bound to find out within the next year. Beyond that, I'm gonna ask you guys this question before we go on to Monster Hunter Wilds and their newest trailer. Should we really be concerned about news about Armor Wars? Because we did get another update. Armor Wars, which was actually at the forefront of Marvel's projects, is now being pushed to the back burner. It's not being dropped off to the cutting room floor. It's not being annexed or 86th. It's just really being put right now on pause. Should we be concerned because of the fact that Armor Wars was supposed to be, it was supposed to be a series, then it became a movie, then went into limbo. Now all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, it's not a priority for the studio right now. Is it just that we're prolonging Armor Wars, or is Marvel just waiting for the right time to bring this up? Because Secret Wars would be the most optimal place for Armor Wars, but at this point, is it just a matter of time before Marvel cuts it, or are they just going to keep this on stasis until something else pops up?
I feel like we should have had it already. We're finally getting this between this, Daredevil, Secret, whatever we're going to get out of Cap, Thunderbolt. Now is what I've been calling the more grounded government era of this arc.
Yeah.
This would have been the perfect fit for it, along with Ironheart. I think that's part of why people didn't like this season of What If as much, because we saw these characters like 1.5 times, and then they got their own episodes of what was a shortened season of a good show. Their own shows, which were announced before this show. So I don't know what's happening. I keep forgetting this was even supposed to be on the slate.
No, fair enough. Joe?
We're probably going to end up cutting it because, we still have not heard any hype for Ironheart anywhere.
True.
That's the big thing. We don't know what Don Cheadle's availability is anymore. I know they've got him on permanent standby, but he probably wants to do other things. And the whole Tony Stark stuff just doesn't fit anymore.
I can see that. I can see that point. To a point, I can see that just because we moved away from Iron Man. We've kind of moved away from Iron Man's central kind of storytelling. I can understand that. But Armor Wars was supposed to be a way to connect War Machine, connect Ironheart, really bring it to the fact of, I would say, like I said a long time ago, it should lead up to the beginning of Secret Wars, in my opinion. But you're right.
It could have either led into Black Panther 2 or been the movie happened post Black Panther 2.
I agree.
Or needs to have happened before Captain America, the new Captain America movie, or after the Captain America movie. Because to me, Armor Wars now speaks to not only the legacy of Tony Stark, but someone's making armor out of adamantium.
which Tafari, you probably saw this, and I just want to throw this out there before we go to Modern Hunters for Wilds. You know the Celestial, to which your famous clip about the Celestial sticking out of the pile after post Eternals, and nobody's talking about it.
Tiamat?
That clip wasn't supposed to run this long. It was supposed to be like a 3-month joke. I didn't think we'd sit on it for a year and a half.
It might get run again because they're now trying to say that Celestial is made out of adamantium.
Well, no, I think that was always the plan. Was Celestial gets stopped, Celestial brings metal into Earth, everyone argues for it. And for some reason, executing that has just been awful. That's why I've been saying, like, even with Secret Invasion, everybody was like, we won. Like, I felt like I was the only person who understood we were getting a Secret Invasion story, not the Secret Invasion story, which is going to tie into all these other government level issues we're going to start having. Captain America and the Winter Soldier. You got Brooker over here. You have Skulls invading, which I don't know why they deleted that scene of Rhodey explaining his legs. You got Rhodey over here as a Skrull invading the government. You have whatever's going on with the Thunderbolts and probably Dark Avengers now in Avengers Tower. They've got good, like, grounded Earth level stuff going on now that they could have easily helped us follow, and we just all over the place with it. Like, Agatha's cool. We did the magic aspects. We're now on, like, the real world power distribution stuff, especially with Cap 4 coming, and they're addressing, hey, this is a new metal. Vibranium is, which I don't know how y'all get your hands on it to test that. Vibranium is inferior to whatever this new metal is. And did someone just like pick a line between the equator for each country? Like, you can dig here, or what's the deal?
It's a lot. What are you gonna say, Joe?
I think a lot of the issue we've had as of late actually does deal with Chadwick Boseman's sudden death, because he was supposed to be the new frontman for the MCU, and then he passes, and then they pass off to Benedict Cumberbatch, and he doesn't really want to do it all that often as much as the other two would have, so they kind of are scrambling, which is part of the reason why we haven't seen Benedict Cumberbatch since the end of the Multiverse of Madness movie, outside of What Ifs, but like that's the biggest issue right now is they've had no real frontman for this phase.
You know what? I realize it as you say it. That's the issue. We don't have anyone who this is like focused around. Even
we don't have a carry through.
Right. I get the stories are weaving together, but it's like we keep going to like a different part of the quilt design before finishing this stitch. So it's like I'm here for Wiccan and whatever they're gonna do with Vision Quest, but by the time we get reintroduced to these people, we keep forgetting where they're even from. Like I've been saying this is still my solution. If you don't have a front man, sprinkle everybody around like you did Wong through like that first entire bunch of Disney Plus series.
Made sense.
Like, we had She-Hulk, and then we had Shang-Chi. Wong was in there boxing. He was also the one who broke him out of jail. And then, now he's got him hanging out, I think, at Carmitage. And even in What If, because Tiffany with 2 Ys or whatever. But I think if you just put everyone, just so we understand how this connects to whatever they got going on, I think it works in place of not having a front man, because we get it. Like, Sam, even now, like, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was great, but with Cap and Thunderbolts coming, I wish they would push more of, hey, Sam and Bucky had a story, and here's where they deviated off to.
You can put your hand down, Judd. You can put your hand down. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
With Ironheart, when I first heard that they were making an Ironheart show, I hoped that I hope they would tie in Armor Wars with Ironheart. And now that this information has come out about Armor Wars, I don't think that they're going to do an AI Star crowd anymore.
They still might. Like I said, Ironheart still has a ways to come out, so that could actually still happen.
That's the other issue is they're taking so long for Ironheart to come out, just no one really cares, because that should have been ready to fire off the moment Black Panther 2 ended.
Like right after that, there should have the show.
That should have been a show or the next movie.
Well, But that goes right back into the quality issue. Remember that Marvel got pretty much Marvel was shelling everything out, and they got called on the fact that everything they were shelled out wasn't up to snuff. Now they geared back. So yeah, I completely agree. You guys are right. That should have came out at those times, but they went a different path.
Like set something up. Like I was saying, even in Wakanda Forever, which I think was great, a second scene of like of Shuri directions, and then it's MJ because they went to MIT without Peter, and that's where they ended up. Or them seeing Riri in class, like little things like that to tie all this together, I think would help in place of a front man. It's just like, I get it, that was more of an isolated story, but still, it's supposed to connect at some point.
No, you're right.
What is Namor? Just at the bottom of the ocean, crippled right now, or like what's even?
We'll see him when he gets in touch with Doom. They like messing with each other.
And I'm curious what his people are doing about.
Well, that dude really can't come back ever, probably for a while.
Yeah,
he also ran into legal issues.
Yeah, not as bad. Yeah, the guy who played Namor, not as bad as Majors, but Desi hasn't dropped him either.
Okay,
so he's pretty much staying underground right now.
Right now, he's going to be used about as much as the guy being Ghost Rider from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I'm curious if we see them for this cat movie, because God, they're probably under the ocean mining it with nobody looking, for all we know.
Pretty much.
So I'm curious because it's right there. It's just it's taking so long to get to the next part. Like it's like the next movie or project, even if it's not up in the next order to be released, they should at least have like a trailer ready at the end of the movie, because what was at the end of what is that? I think Wakanda Forever or the Marvel something had Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. No Way Home had the trailer for Multiverse of Madness at the end of it.
Yeah.
And I think that works in place of an end credit scene. Just give us whatever the next thing is, so we at least know what directly follows, even if it's not the next thing we're doing.
I don't know. I honestly missed the connection between the movies whenever they got to the end credit scenes. But that's just me. What are you gonna say, Jeff?
What if Namor, like when the Fantastic Four somehow make their way to the MCU?
Oh God, I keep forgetting about that. I don't want that movie. I am not gonna sit there and watch Namor try and romance Sue Storm for an hour and a half, just for Sue Storm to tell her, for Sue Storm to go no.
But you know it's coming. What else you gonna say, Chad?
I just want to see like if they're gonna do anything else with Galactus, because I saw some complaints that people wanted Galactus to be a saga villain, which me personally, I don't think he's a saga villain.
Well,
the issue with Galactus is he is a great one-off character. He is not a long-running character unless he's a plot device or a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Like in Annihilation, he was literally used as a battery for Thanos' fleet. But like as a villain, he's a one-off. Like even Ghost Rider can beat Galactus.
True.
I hope they don't kill him off. I would like to see him get sent out into the ether at the end of the film.
Yeah.
And possibly introduce us to a Shi'ar Empire or the Kree, and at least remind us, hey, there are X-Men in this world, and we can start crossing wires somewhere. Also, I'm surprised if the Earth isn't like destroyed, but like a hollowed version of itself, because what if at least showed us that the emergence doesn't completely wreck the planet? It just kind of splits it into pieces where people are still technically living.
Yeah.
Just seal it in the M'Kron crystal, and then we go from there.
Well, we got to move on from that one, fellas, because Tafara, you brought this up, and I've got this out there because, in the words, as Joe has put it directly from SpongeBob, how many times do we got to teach this lesson, old man? The reason what I'm getting to, guys, is that there is a new bill to effectively stop piracy in the U.S. that is getting backing from Netflix, Disney, and Sony. Not to bore anybody, but the bill is basically called the Foreign Anti-Digital Piracy. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Foreign Anti-Digital Piracy Act, or the FADPA. If enacted, that means that they will try to petition all broadband providers, Google, Cloudflare, Xfinity, depending on where you're at, to block customer access to foreign piracy websites, torrents, things of that nature. I just feel like I got to quote Joe on this. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? You're not going to stop. You're not going to stop piracy. You're not. And as literally as Safari is holding the symbol of piracy, literally and figuratively, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to stop piracy. You didn't stop it with Napster way back in 2000. You didn't stop it when torrents became a big thing somewhere between 05 almost up to now. You tried to stop torrents. You tried to stop websites. Let's be honest here. You're not going to stop websites from being accessed for many variable reasons. VPN springs to mind. As long as VPNs exist, you're not going to stop piracy. As long as other countries can access these sites, you're not going to stop piracy. As long as there's fan subs, fan sites out there that do the Lord's work of translating or adding subtitles to anime shows, because I should know that's how I got into Bleach. Bleach was a fan sub for me for the longest time. You're not going to stop piracy. And the thing about it is, nobody's complaining about piracy except those that want their physical media. This is what we keep saying the entire time. We want physical media because, number one, you cannot trust digital subscriptions because companies like Hulu, even Crunchyroll, which was supposed to actually help us, but turned out to be the villain in the end. They took away Funimation because that also was a great site. They took away torrent sites like Kiss Anime because, again, they were the big fish. You can get a smorgasbord of free anime and free mangas to whether you want to read or watch. But the thing is, you're not going to stop it. Whatever site the reason why the Pirate Bay is still around. Do you know how old the Pirate Bay is? I'm like, that was around, since I've been in high school, and that's 20 years ago. And every time they try to shut the Pirate Bay down, it just pops up on another domain. So I don't know about you guys, this is laughable. And just a waste of a politician trying to take down a whale that you're not going to catch. Because say this bill does get passed, VPNs still work. VPNs are not outlawed. At the same time, somebody who knows somebody can easily get burned CDs into the States, and therefore you can still share these very same subs. I mean, am I right on this? Am I right on this, fellas? That literally this law they're trying to pass is just laughable, or what?
It's useless.
It's treason.
Is what?
It's treason, man.
Yeah. It's just the only thing that got killed in this bill was trees. But Joe, what about you? I mean, I know it's a waste of breath, but it's like we've seen this pop up multiple times whenever it comes to piracy. They always want to go after the anime sites. They always want to go after the fan sites. They always want to go after the sub sites. I'm just like, you're wasting your time because you will not be able to block all of them, nor keep us from them.
And I think the only reason they're even ganging up on this is because one of the sites, I guess, apparently beat Disney Plus in viewership by like a lot last year. So they're all just like, okay, we can't all win if we don't take this person. And it's like, it's not even like they're trying to do it because they want to. It's because a lot of the shows can't be found. I still can't watch IQ in English. I think Megalobox is still technically missing right now.
Yeah.
I think Megalobox is.
It was on Hulu, but it's not anymore.
Crunchyroll, Tubi, and Retro Crush.
And Retro Crush is one of the ones they're targeting, which you would think because Retro Crush has sat there and said they did licensing, and they're trying to include Retro Crush in this, and they're legal.
Retro Crush is like a paid streaming site.
And they're trying to include that in this freaking bill.
Okay.
That's the part that doesn't make any sense. It's like, so you'll go after the legals, you'll go after the legal subscriptions as well, just to include them. It makes no sense. But what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say, Tafara?
And then Crunchyroll started as a piracy site. That's the part. So it's true. And you became the very thing you sought to destroy.
You were supposed to bring balance to the force, not destroy it. But like we said, guys, piracy, it's just not going to end. In other words, you can't beat it. You might as well join it, because that's what Crunchyroll did, and that's how they got Funimation, which again is still crazy to me how they got it, absorbed it, took everybody's subscriptions and paid offerings, and pretty much told them guys, yeah, you're on your own. Still messed up. But anyway.
It took Funimation on top of, like, they bought almost every anime, like, shopping too. Like, Right Stuff anime is gone. I think a bunch of other ones I can't remember the names of are gone.
Yeah, assimilated and gone.
The Disco is still, I think, owned by themselves. They sell through Crunchyroll, though, so I'm like, thank God, because I know they're probably offering you money weekly. Don't take it.
Right. Or as I said to the Pirate Bay, just let us know what domain you go to next, and we'll just follow along on the grand line. But back to trailers. Monster Hunter Wilds actually gave their 6th trailer as we get ever so closer to the release date, and every trailer just honestly gets me hyped. I know it does get Joe as well, but if you haven't seen the trailer, here it is.
Beta's happening right now.
Is it?
Why is it glowing?
No clue, but I noticed it when setting up camp.
That way. Straight on to the end.
Why did it attack us? There must be a reason, right?
If things were different, you wouldn't have this unique perspective. But you do.
We will find his people. I remember this. I came through here. The Keeper's Village should be right through there. Is that monster absorbing its energy?
Look alive, men! Report!
Oh, sweet. They got a beta test. I'm sorry, Joe. What were you saying before you started playing the trailer? You muted, Joe.
I was saying we got the beta this week.
Ah, okay.
Or next week.
Yep. So we actually have the beta test. Looks like Thursday, February 6th. So yesterday up until Sunday on the 9th. And then the 13th all the way to the 16th. So if you do have a PS5, Xbox Series X or X, or Steam, you can definitely go ahead and join that beta test, because that's what I see. But besides that beta test, and then the Fatal Fury follows up after the 16th. So it's going to be a good day to test some stuff. I'm still down to play this. Say what, Joe?
Except PlayStation Network is down.
I was gonna say they back up.
Oh, PS2, PSN is down. Where you say it's far?
I said if it's next week, they got time to fix it because right now, all the Marvel rival players are just angry and just turning into COD players in those.
Shoot, I was gonna say Fortnite and Rivals. Fortnite and Rival players are kind of mad right now that the PlayStation Network's down.
I think they can go to Xbox, but I know a lot of the PlayStation people over on Rivals, they're just abusing other hobbies right now, just angrily.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have an instinctual need to make platinum in some game.
Yeah, but still, with Monster Hunter Wilds, I got nothing else to add to this except I'm ready to play it. I might go ahead and jump on the beta tonight just to go ahead and try it out. But Joe, Tafari, anything else y'all want to add to that?
I mean, I get the hype. I've never played any of the games, but I very much understand the fandom. So I've never really seen any of the story aspects of a Monster Hunter game. So adding that to what people already are obsessed with, not bad.
I always need hunting partners.
Yeah, I gotta get back. I gotta get with you on Helldivers too. Once the PSN network comes back.
Oh, I've deleted Helldivers off my console.
Oh, you done with it?
Yeah, I'm tired of it.
Now
I'm in Sinduality. Which, by the way, guys, if you're watching this, chat, I'm going to let you know now. You're terrible luck. Every time I stream for you guys, it's a bust. Every time I stream on my own, and no one watches, it's a great thing. So, chat, you're terrible luck. All of you are terrible luck.
Lord, the next trailer that we do, guys, is I don't know if we can call it a remake of Jurassic World because they're taking a different direction. If you have not seen Jurassic World Rebirth, here's a trailer and we'll let you know our thoughts after it.
The one in the tube is just a Rancor. You can't convince me otherwise.
Okay.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett. I'm a mission specialist. Sorry, what mission? This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet. Oh my God. Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less? He's your guy?
You're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
We look towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs. Do we have to get a sample from an egg? I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Maybe we should make it quick.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst. We're left here.
Come on!
We put ourselves in a place we don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
What the hell are those?
They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
All right, so that was a trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth. Will be in theaters this July. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to see what's about. I want to see if Black Widow can save us.
Why would you bring a child there?
That's what I was gonna say. That was my biggest red flag in this thing is why is a child in there? The last time we had a child in this was Jurassic Park 2. I don't want to see her do gymnastics to defeat a raptor a second time.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. But the whole idea, they did kind of go back to the originals, to almost the original, to where it's trying to now talk about an island that nobody's ever been on, saying this was the island that was the research project for the original park, but apparently all the bad rejects were left here. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how the story's going to go, because, you know, after Dominion, it's like, where do you go at this point? Because either we're cohabiting with dinosaurs now, or they've all been wiped out, they've all been sold off. It's like, how many more ways can we tell the very same story? This looks like it's going to be different. I'm still willing to give it a shot, but what do you guys think?
The Fast and the Furious meets Jurassic Park. That's where it goes. I want to see Dom talk about family while riding a brontosaurus.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
We have super soldiers in that franchise, so it's still possible.
There's nothing stronger than family as he's riding a T-Rex.
There's nothing stronger than family except this Triceratops horn. That made me stronger than family.
After Chris Pratt's trilogy, aren't the dinosaurs just out in the world? Like, why do we need Why do we need specifically the rejects off the island of Dr. Giroux? Don't open that door or set that android free, or it'll be the end of all.
I will say the idea of seeing mutant dinosaurs does interest me. I do want to see that.
Maybe that. What are the rejects?
A Tyrannosaurus with long arms.
Because that's even it. If these are the rejects, why do you want their DNA specifically?
That's what I'm getting at. It's like supposedly the three biggest dinosaurs, like they said in the trailer, the three biggest dinosaurs you need the DNA from for some type of research. So if the three biggest dinosaurs, why would the three biggest ones be on the reject island? That's my question. You would think if like you said, a T-Rex. Let's just say a T-Rex with Stegosaurus arms and legs. That's freaking scary. Or a Triceratops that can run like a cheetah. Again, kind of freaking scary. But
and it's carnivores.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming every dinosaur on that island is probably a cannibal. So we'll find out. But either way, like I said, it just seems like it's fun to watch, and I want to give Scarlett Johansson a shot because she's going to do a lot of roles to get out from under Black Widow. She really is. Not saying that she didn't do a bad job with Black Widow, but let's be honest, you played a role for almost 20 years. You got to do something different, and a lot different. But we'll see.
You know exactly what Adam West did. You lean into it, and then you lean into it extra hard.
Yeah, but he'll always be known as Batman. He will always be the Batman. What are you gonna say, Tafara?
I feel like she still could. It's just she had the whole legal issue with Disney and COVID and the streaming wars, and I think that left a sour taste for everybody.
Oh, Disney screwed her over big time. They screwed her over and her movie big time. She deserved every dime that she got from them, and then some, honestly, because she got royally screwed. But
What happened to her?
well, they basically they almost derailed her Black Widow movie. They not only did they almost derail her Black Widow movie, they didn't compensate her properly. So that's what that did. To make a long story short, Chad, she didn't get the money she was owed. So she had to sue them to get the money she was owed. And then she got it back and then some.
Yeah, Disney Plus didn't exist when they made her movie, and then became the only place to get it because of COVID. Basically, the place that they were making money didn't exist when she made the deal. So it was a big legal loophole, and they could have just been nice and said, here's the money we'll give you instead, because pandemic happened, and instead they tried to just cut her out the whole deal.
Sweep her under the rug, which again made no sense. But moving right along, we do have some video game trailers. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 actually has a new trailer because it has some brand new news to it if you are a fan of the music tracks.
Yeah, come on, everybody come alive.
Next location is Osaka.
And as you can see, guys, that's the trailer for Capcom Fighting Collection number 2, which I am going to love. Available for pre-order May 6th. It's available for pre-order now. Will be available come May 16th of this year for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and Steam.
So it's not on PS5?
Nope, it will not be on PS5 yet. And I say yet because that is subject to change. But how are we feeling about it, fellas, from a fighting game standpoint? I know there's 2 games on there I can't wait to play, but how are we feeling about that? The soundtracks, online play, netcode rollback. It seems to be a complete game, but what are we thinking?
I might consider picking it up just to play Power Stone online because I picked up the PSP collection I think last year, and I was fun. And I'm glad they added in the quick save or the quick load feature because running back the like the Jack collection and the Sly Cooper collection, that has been a insane. Not having to redo entire levels over, you can just go back like the 5 seconds you screwed up and start from. And it has made platinum runs so much easier. So,
that rewind option is great. Well, I mean, being on if you've been on Safari TV streams, like I said, that rewind option is helpful versus having to go back all the way through the level and trying to do it. But yeah, Joe, what about you?
I mean, I'm getting it. I mean, it's got a huge museum, remix soundtracks. I'm there for CVS 2, which Dave said Maximilian Dudorti has played a version of it. He says it's probably the best build since the PS2 era build. The only thing I'm really not looking forward to is the same game everybody else is not looking forward to, which is Capcom Fighting Evolution.
Gotcha. No, Power Stone, I'm with that. Power Stone and Mark of the Millennium is my two favorites I'm going to be looking forward to. Although Plasma Sabers, that was interesting because I've only seen that in arcades, but I've only seen usually the arcades and laundromats, but probably still want to give it a shot. But again, good to actually have it for the Switch. For all those who are wondering, for PS5 and Xbox Series X, there might be a chance they may come there, but for right now, it's just sticking to later gen series. But again, we'll see.
Well, the Marvel collection just came to Xbox, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't even know it was out until I saw Justin say he's downloading it, and everyone said I'm blocking you in advance.
That man has become a menace. For that game alone, that man has become a menace and has everybody was like, you know what? No, I don't want to play you. And Justin knows it. I'm like, he knows he's trolling, but it's like, come on now. You got to give some folks a break. And he's like, nah. But
you even train for games like that these last 20 years? Do you just have to have like a ROM ready, or does everyone just own a copy they never picked?
Fightcade.
What's that?
Kind of like a emulator, but it also gives you rollback.
So a ROM with net code.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, yeah, I get it. Like MVC2 was great, but I'm like, how are y'all practicing for this?
ROMs with net codes. Which again, we love the ROM community. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. We don't care about Nintendo. But speaking of other games, guys, we did talk about Omnimusha Way of the Sword, which is actually going to be coming out in 2026. What was also announced directly from their website is that a revamped game, Omnimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny. Tafari, Joe, have y'all ever played that? Because I think that was for the PS2, if memory serves me right.
Oh yeah, played it a ton.
Never touched it. I know I saw it on shelves a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the one with the dog or the wolf on the cover? Or am I thinking of a different game?
Thinking of a different game.
You're thinking of Kami.
Yeah,
that's Kami. Omnimusha. Yeah, okay. I remember.
Omnimusha is Samurai Resident Evil.
Yeah. I keep getting those two mixed up, and I remember doing that in the store. Those two games I remember seeing a lot and just never picked them up.
Yeah, because 2 was
I miss it so much.
Yeah,
this is the one where you actually got to This is the one where you got to Metroidvania yourself because you actually have relationships you have to build with certain characters.
So
you have to give them gifts to max out a friendship meter, and then they'll start helping you more often, or running off screen into battles.
That's true. Then they have I was going to say, I call them quick time events, but it's really just timing that you had to hit them with.
They also had some interesting voice acting choices that were really, really good.
For all those that don't know, here's a trailer. Oh, I should have said that it's probably gory and violent.
Nah, they probably got the blood turned off.
My name is Golden Dantis, the greatest swordsman of all demons.
I can't wait.
It's going to be pretty good. But as you can see, guys, the remaster version will be available this year. They haven't said exactly when. Also for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. again, subject to change. It might get to the current gen consoles. As of right now, we don't know. But yeah, I'm with Joe, and I'm with Joe on this one. I will go back and play it just because I remember playing it. It was fun. Tafari, if you ever do get a chance, you should definitely check it out as well.
Was this? They had a PS1 title too, right?
No. PS2 had 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
3 is the one that has Jean Reno in it. He had the whip.
Yeah.
I think I've had friends who played this. I know I've seen this game. It's one of those series that like I didn't dislike. I just never got my hands on it.
Gotcha. Well, either way, it's gonna definitely be interesting. But Moon Girl Season 2, Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur Season 2 is out on Disney Plus. I'm sorry?
Season 2, Part 2.
Thank you. Season 2, Part 2 is available right now. If you're like me, you kind of put it to the wayside considering the fact that we did report that Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur series was canceled. And so what we're getting is pretty much the last couple episodes. The reason why we're bringing this up, guys, is that the guest lineups that are being included in Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, Samuel L. Jackson will reprise his role as Nick Fury. Angela Bassett will be known as playing the role of Decoy, which again, the Queen Mother can play whatever she wants to play. We will never disagree with her. And also, Donald Faison will be as his character Corey in Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. That's just a few of the guest spots. We have already sat there and said, guys, that we were sad to see Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur get canceled. It really shouldn't have, because it was really a great show. It's just that Disney just made some choice decisions that we just disagree with. But for now, I guess enjoy it while it lasts. But fellas, anything we can say about these guest spots and what they could possibly be doing on Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur?
It's been so good. I'm on episode 18 already.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Mimi's girlfriends came back. Mm-hmm. The Japanese one's amazing because they roll up in New York to visit them, and her first thing when something goes wrong is like, well, we could nuke the city. It's like, What about it's like we could set off a series of nuclear explosions. What about that would devastate the city? I mean, I just got here. I'm not that attached to it.
Damn. I mean, it's true.
It's been really good. Very strong focus on the family this season, too.
Gotcha. What are you going to say, Tafara?
I'm not a fan of this new way of distributing shows where they drop them off in cores. Like, only one that's done it right. It's like, hey, this was not, what is it? We have, 40 episodes, and we're doing 10 a season, and we're calling them cores? One thing versus, hey, the whole show is done, but we're going to give it to you in bits and pieces. Like Fairly Odd Parents' new show, the sequel series, I think is great. But first 10, the other 10 are just only on TV if you catch them in passing. And it just feels like a new way to get more money out of distributing less. Like, even around 06 or whatever, like regular show when Adventure Time came out, I was not a fan. A new show now became 15 minutes instead of 30. Because it just feels like they're finding new ways to cut corners. So I was waiting on this second half to come out. I don't know why it took so long, especially now that the show is just done. They're doing it with the anime now too. Like Beastars and that last season of JoJo, Stone Ocean, I think were all completed, but they're giving you like 12 episodes a year now instead of just the entire finished product, which is so weird.
It is weird how they're actually doing these episode drops. Even with Spider-Man, which we talked about, was like this Wednesday you had 3 episodes. Next Wednesday you're having 2, and then the Wednesday after that you're right back to. Is it 3? Is it 3 across the board?
2, 3, 3, 2.
I'm okay with Spider-Man being like, all right, here's the buffet, go to town, versus like we're just gonna keep like nickel and diming you with like appetizer plates, and it's like when do we get to the meal? This is the meal. It's like Fairly Odd Parents. This is
I think with Spider-Man's case, sorry to interrupt. I think with Spider-Man's case, they know no one's going to watch it when Daredevil drops.
That's what I think they want to clear the. I think we get a Daredevil, and we're going to just clear the way for Matt Murdock, because Matt's got a long season coming, right?
Yeah, they've got the longest slate. Yeah, they've got the longest slate for their episodes. For their run, they're the longest of the Disney Plus series. So they're gonna give them a lot. They're gonna give them a lot of area to work with. So But yes, if you haven't seen Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, you really should. It's a really good show. Sad to see it leave, but at least it's going on good terms. But before we get back to trailers, we got to talk about this thing. Now, Joe brought this up about the ESA, or the Entertainment Software Association, coming out with a E3-like conference, if you will. Joe, you want to go ahead and take this one, or you want me to just go through the article?
I mean, it's basically E3 2.0, but we just don't know if this is like a trade show or like a consumer media event or anything. It's just called Icon. You can get a rundown of the basics. Like I said, this is kind of like, to me, this is like they don't want Jeff Keighley to be the only game in town.
That's what it sounds like, but when you go through the article, it was saying as far as the conference is being pitched as a quote-unquote essential convening for change makers across industries, but will seemingly focus on those careening through the world of video games. It doesn't say a lot, and this is the thing I have an issue with, because like Joe said, some people don't want to see Jeff as the sole go-to person for video games, for trailers, things of that nature. E3 was really doomed to fail just because, well, the big three decided to do their own showcases, and at the same time, you only had a lot of indie games. Indie games used to be a big part of E3, and they started to go their own way. So, outside of waiting for Summer of Games and the Video Game Awards, you really did, and then waiting for whatever developer dropped a showcase, you really don't have anything else. Now, E3 used to be what we used to love because we found out a lot of information from E3. Now, is Icon trying to do the same thing? I'm not 100% sure, because based off what they're trying to say, it sounds like they're just going across the board. It's like, are y'all having a conference? Are y'all actually having a showcase? Or are you just, having a summit? And in which they sat there and said Amazon Games, Disney, Electronic Arts, Epic Games, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, Square Enix, Take-Two Interactive, Ubisoft, and Warner Brother Games are all representatives are supposed to be there, but they're not saying what they're going to do once they're there. So I will say this, just to make a long story short, if they are trying to be the next wave of where we can get trailers, information, updates, things of that nature, okay, I get it. But if you're trying to do something else, just say you're trying to do something else, because as gamers, all we really want is either trailers, updates, or just news on new games. That's really pretty much freaking it. But again, we'll keep up with Icon to see what it goes from there and actually what they shape it up to be. But like I said, if you're going to be the next E3, what you're trying to shape up to be, give us some steak, give us some meat to chew on. That's all I'm asking. But anyway, back to trailers. We still got a few more before we get to our episodes reviews. Star Overdrive for Nintendo Switch. Joe, you pointed this one out. What got your attention on this?
It's Breath of the Wild, but on hoverboards.
That's okay. Let's see. You made a claim like that, and now you got my attention. For all those that are watching, this is Star Overdrive. I can see that comparison. That was Star Overdrive. Again, available for pre-order now. Will be available come April 10th of this year. I see why you said it was Breath of the Wild with hoverboards, because there were some similar actions in Breath of the Wild that I do see in this. I'm willing to give it a shot once it comes to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo eShop. Tafari, you got anything else you want to add to that?
It looks interesting enough. I will probably be heavy into South of Midnight, but I may check this out and see if it's worth picking up for myself.
Yep. Joe, anything else you want to add to that?
I mean, this may be the final basic Switch game because this is coming out April 10th, and that's like a week after the Switch 2 full announcement trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So this may be like the last big Switch game.
Gotcha. I can see that. Also, yes, South of Midnight. Guys, reach out to Compulsion Games. They could use all share, bring it up, because South of Midnight looks like it's going to be a really good game. Compulsion Games seem to have a really good lock on this story, but right now they're not getting a lot of press. So, and plus, we kind of hope to, really get some people on there. We're looking at you, devs. You can talk to us. I mean, Tafara has been trying to get your attention now for a good couple of weeks. You can come talk to us. That's all we're saying. What do you say, Tafara?
They've seen a lot of it too. I think they're just what are they, Canadian based? So
yeah.
I think whoever runs their social team is just there to like post and then leave.
I've been like, you can't come talk to us or on Blurred's Eye. We're friendly. We just want to really talk to y'all about this game that's really coming out. But yes, definitely check out South of Midnight. Definitely check out Star Overdrive. The next trailer we have, guys, if you're Destiny fans, if this is the next arc in the episodes, which some people are happy about, some people are complaining about. I myself love it because, again, it is eventually going to go to Destiny 3, but I'm loving these episode arcs they're doing right now. The next one they have is actually called Heresy, and here's the trailer.
Something is stirring in the hive, as it is in the Taken.
Got eyes on the Dreadnought. Something's wrong.
Has the Taken King returned?
You do pursue my power, Lightbearer. My weapon, my throne. My Dreadnought tests you, Guardian Knife.
We need to get Eris out of here!
Invite the horror in. Hold it close. Reach into the unknown and prepare for it to reach back.
All right, so that was a trailer for Destiny 2 Heresy, which has already begun. Actually began on February 4th with the update. Again, if you've gotten this far, also I want to point this out as well. For a lot of people, because these arcs are coming in on a weekly basis, that does not mean that the previous arc is gone. You can go back and play it. This is just the newest one, as they're just basically going through their episode arcs up until the next game, which will basically be Destiny 3. Haven't played this yet. Looking forward to playing Heresy. Whenever Eris Morn does not have a rock in her hand, and she's actually got her, and for a lot of people forget, Eris Morn's a hunter. So, of course, revolvers are going to basically be her specialty. But you know it's serious when she doesn't have the rock in her hand and she actually has a gun in her hand. But either way, can't wait to actually play it and get into it to see where they go with the story. But Joe, I know you don't play Destiny. Tafari, have you ever taken a shot at it?
Played a few times with my brother, but I'm not heavy. Didn't they just drop like a Star Wars Pack 2 recently?
Yes. It basically you basically have Star Wars-esque armor or jump ship.
That and Xenoverse 2. Those are two games I'm just like, I'm shocked they keep adding content and having to sprung for a third game, but It's just still heavy on it. By all means, I have no problem with companies pouring into one thing versus just, all right, that's enough, and then jumping to the next one. So, I mean, if this is going to be more Destiny for Destiny fans, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, Bungie is all in on Destiny since they split from Activision. So they got no excuse except the fact they need to listen more to the communities. You know, you need to pull Helldivers. Helldivers listen to its community. And again, you see the feedback. Destiny, Bungie, same thing. That's all I'm saying. The last video trailer we got, guys, is for WWE 2K25. Why? Because we're on the road to WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble just passed. And, of course, WWE is going to keep on pushing out wrestling games. Although I'm not mad about this one, but I'm a little concerned at the end what they're trying to do. And you'll see what I mean when I get to it. But here's the trailer.
Who's on who? Said you let it ring, but it never goes through. Everything you got, tell them that will take a whole lot. You ain't got no backbone. I get out the trap, I ain't got a trap phone. I got P's and M's and A's and O's. They're a little bit so I'm letting them know. From high fives, I'm just a middle finger.
Okay, so that was a trailer for WWE 2K25. If you pre-order, you do get the Wyatt 6. And there's also 3 versions. I just want to point this out for a second. There's 3 versions of the game. For all those that don't know, in case before you go looking for it, there is a standard one, then there's the Deadman edition, and then there's the Bloodline edition. You can already tell which one's going to be the more expensive one. WWE 2K25 is that WWE 2K's games have actually been pretty okay as far as wrestling games go. I keep hoping for another AEW Fight Forever. It may not happen because of the launch and how it's being accepted right now. But WWE seems to be doing fine, especially with their island of relevancy. Their island of relevancy is now their quote-unquote created character career portion in WWE. But overall, looks like it's going to be great. The pre-order for that one is actually available now, as it will be available. All 3 versions of WWE 2K25 will be available March 14th. Fellas, what do we think? Is it worth picking up, or is it going to be a walk as we pass by until it gets lower in price?
I feel like I'm not the wrestling fan amongst the 3 of us like you guys are. Do people actually pick these up every year?
Yes, like Madden.
I had no idea. I got spoiled. What, SmackDown? Here Comes the Pain.
Yeah.
Whatever. There was another one that came out around the same time that everybody used to rave about. But those 2 kind of set the bar. Everything after once we get to the yearly sports releases, this UFC.
Yeah.
I'm like, people play it. I'm just not one of them.
Jad, you don't really play wrestling games anymore, do you?
No, I play Madden.
You play Madden. You stick to Madden now. I kind of figure about. Joe, what about you? Do you pass on wrestling, or is it you try to dip your head in the pool every now and then? You muted, Joe.
I kind of only get the WWE games when they deal with all the WrestleMania moments. I really don't care about the whole Bloodline storyline. I've seen it too many times before with older factions and whatnot.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, it's solid storytelling, but like I don't have it in me to replay it.
No, I get it. And plus, they're trying to have you rewrite the Bloodline storyline because that took over WWE for almost 2 years now I think about it. But still, cool to know. So, really quickly, our episode reviews of shows that have happened this week. We are going to go into detail about them. So, if you don't want to be spoiled, now is a good time to mute us for a few minutes. So, first, I'm going to bring up your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So, fellas, we had 3 episodes drop this week. I'm just going to go around the round table. What are we thinking after these 3 episodes have passed?
Leave Lonnie Lincoln alone. He was supposed to go to the league, and Lonnie is the black guy from all the 90s and 2000s era McDonald's commercials. He's got a job. He's doing great for his community. Everybody loves him. And then Lonnie, you know what's messed up? Lonnie gets stabbed. Not when he almost gets jumped in a burrito place. Not when he gets chased through town or is forced to almost get kicked off of sports. Getting stabbed in a gang fight. That's what makes Lonnie happy about his new activities. I'm just like, leave this boy alone and let him play foot. Like, the logical argument, because Lonnie's not stupid, is, hey, if you keep betting on my games and make money, you can do that. I can't do that, though, if I'm always here. Let me be.
Pretty much. But no, it's definitely interesting watching Lonnie's eventual turn into you-know-who. But yeah, it's the fact that, like you said, how you going to take a perfectly fine black kid and be like, let's give him turmoil and things of that nature. Joe, what did you think about the 3 episodes?
Well, it's his little brother's fault for falling in with him in the first place.
That was my other thing. I'm like, he had such a healthy family dynamic. His house seemed to be the only normal thing in that neighborhood, and then it's just like brothers in a gang, and I'm just like, Lonnie, you're smart. There's like 1,000 other ways we could have got out of this. Like, hey, track this phone, which means my mom is probably tracking the cops here. If you don't let me take him, you're all going down. Or, hey, you want me to show respect? Why are you sitting in the darkest corner of the room, big man? Like, what is your deal?
That part.
That, or if I'm getting sent to get jumped, I'm snitching. I'm like, hey, I'm technically a hostage. If y'all want to stab the man, I will not jump in the way for the man who's holding me hostage. You had an out, like right there. Why did we ruin my varsity jacket for this?
Right.
The number 2 is part of the Wrecking Crew.
Mm-hmm.
Who is?
The dude in the puffy yellow jacket, he's part of the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
The Wrecking Crew. What's that?
The Wrecking Crew?
Yeah.
You don't remember?
They are 4 men who have a crowbar, a juggernaut-like helmet, a literal wrecking ball, which I think is what this dude's name is Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, but do you remember the other?
They're all Asgardian weapons.
Do you remember the Disney show the Wrecking Crew first appeared in?
No.
You watched it.
Was it Ultimate Spider-Man?
The other Disney show where the Wrecking Crew was mentioned.
You mean that horrible spin-off of
Keep going.
Spider-Man?
No, not Spider-Man. Keep in mind what I said. A recent Disney show. Before we got to Spider-Man, it was sometime last year where it was on a show where the Wrecking Crew was mentioned.
She-Hulk?
Keep going.
Moon Knight?
You was right the first time.
Oh, yeah,
they were mentioned.
They were?
Yeah. They were mentioned in She-Hulk. You're right. You was right.
Because the dude has a magical crowbar and he shares his powers, splits his powers 4 ways between his friends.
Yeah, that was She-Hulk. So that's what we're trying to bring up. Like everything's connected. Like you will hear the Wrecking Crew mentioned in several different shows. And in this case, no, go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say I like the first episode with Speed Demon and Tarantula, although I swear to God I thought it was Wizard because of like the way the boots activated, but then when I looked at things like, oh, he's Speed Demon. I should have guessed that from the way the jacket was.
Yeah.
I love that we got the Slinger outfits of Prodigy, Hornet, and Dusk.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have seen Peter as Ricochet and not be able to stop bouncing and be like a literal speedball, much like Speedball.
Yeah.
But, 3 out of 4, not too bad. Irony that Norman designed those, but, I don't, much like Peter and Harry, I don't like the white spider suit. It's not the Future Foundation suit. It's more kind of like Overkill, the PS4 suit.
Yeah. What are you gonna say, Jed?
What's wrong with the white suit?
It's too sterile.
How's it terrible?
No, I didn't say terrible. Sterile.
Well,
like it's very blank.
I just want to see Peter's regular suit because I know it's going to be in this show.
Well, yeah, they're leading up to it.
They're getting to it.
They kind of show it in Peter's sketches when they get like.
Yeah, they do a little bit.
I like that we got the what was it the bat spider for a quick second, and it's like, all he wanted to do was give the kid back a balloon from Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, that's Dusk. That's the Dusk outfit. I really do like that they're doing the early version of the comic for character models when we had the unicorn episode, because you can immediately tell who's going to be Rhino.
Yeah,
but plus he's that Rhino from the meme, where it's the boys meme, where it's like Green Goblin, Rhino, Scorpion, and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't like the Dr. Octopus voice because he looks like he should have a German accent. Instead, he sounds like he's from Jersey. No offense to Jersey.
He looks exactly like Doc out of the PS1 game.
Oh yeah, no, he does. He just doesn't sound like it.
Pretty much.
He sounds like he's from Jersey. Again, no offense to Jersey.
So again, with Osborn kind of stepping in and really just, let's be honest, he's fulfilling the same role as Tony Stark did in Civil War with Spider-Man as far as being the mentor. Do we happen and Spider-Man can't keep a secret to save his life because Norman found out and then his son found out. So now, looking at where we are now with Spider-Man, and especially I love the fact they mentioned the Sokovian Accords. So that tells you exactly where this Spider-Man takes place in a parallel universe with 616. So, I mean, overall, are we expecting to see really? I mean, we're going to see Doc Ock eventually. That's just bound to happen.
It's going to be Doc Ock Tombstone because we're going to see Lonnie flip on Peter at some point.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to. It's gonna have to at this point. And at the same time, like Chad would love to see, you're probably gonna wind up seeing the iconic blue and red suit. So
I hope they do something with Pearl, because I know she's part of a Wakandan Space Force team.
No, she's a mutant.
She's a mutant.
Pearl's a runner, right?
You're thinking the other person, and you're thinking the other. Yeah, you're thinking the other. You're thinking her. But they may not specifically point that out yet. May not.
Maybe a season 2 thing.
So what did you say, Joe?
That may be a season 2 thing. Like I don't see us getting Green Goblin right now. I don't see us getting weird stuff. Like if anything, Doctor Strange has to come back, and then maybe something with Nico. Like, with Pearl going on right now being Wave, I don't see the.
But let's also remember that the spider is not dead. It hopped onto another backpack, so we're bound.
That could either be. That could be Jessica Drew. That could be Silk. Did we see? This is going to be such a weird question. Did we see the color of the hand grenade of the backpack?
Nope. No,
that could be this version of Miles.
We just saw the backpack get picked up, so we didn't see it. We never saw a hand actually pick up the backpack.
They made sure we saw no qualities on purpose. We saw pants and some shoes.
Right.
So it could be Miles. It could be Jessica Drew. It could be Sun Moon, Silk. It could be Ben Reilly. There could, since this is an alternate universe, that could be a different character altogether.
True.
And it'd be Ben Reilly.
Or
Spider-Boy is not. I'm
Chad, don't make me ask you to leave the podcast to slate in the game.
no. I can fix it. So I've been thinking of some theories with Harry Osborn.
okay.
Because judging by this version of him, I feel like he's gonna want to join Peter on his crime fighting sessions and stuff. So I wonder if they're gonna put Hobgoblin as show a little bit of the suit, but then Peter turns down the idea and then he just closes it and stuff like that.
Harry's not Hobgoblin though.
He's not.
And at the same time, the Green Goblin would appear first before the Hobgoblin did. But you know what? You wouldn't be wrong because Norman is a perfectionist. Norman tries his hardest to turn around and try to make Peter into try to give him the perfect suit. So, you know what? Your theory does have some merit because he could bring up a Hobgoblin-esque suit for Peter, and Peter turns it down, but then he saves it for later use. So you might be onto something there.
Yeah.
He mentions the drone backpack from Spider-Man Beyond.
Yeah. So you actually may be onto something on there. That's where we see shades of shades of the Green Goblin, of the glider, of the potential prototype suit. But keep in mind, Norman Osborn is still on Peter's side. He actually hasn't turned on him quite yet. We might not actually see a turn, to be honest with you. We might not even see it.
I don't see Norman or Harry flipping on him, honestly. I think we're gonna, because I'm kind of glad this and Spider-Verse gave us the fake out with the guys argue over the girl trope, and they actually end up becoming friends instead. Because Miles and Hobie, Lonnie, and I can see Peter trying to get Lonnie out. But if they are playing nice right now and setting up for maybe darker tone later, again, you see how easy it was to sprinkle in, hey, this is Civil War era, and it was very easily, it was done quickly, but it's noticeable. Nico are discussing whether or not people should have to register, meaning Peter might end up doing the thing, which means we may be getting the prison pimp hand with Kingpin eventually.
Yeah.
So,
we haven't gotten a Kingpin yet, have we?
No, they haven't introduced Fisk.
That's next week. That's because that's got to be when the Daredevil stuff drops.
Yeah, they haven't introduced Fisk yet to the series.
The fact that they're talking about, I think heroes should have to register, and we're in the Civil War era. He's got Aunt May, Daredevil's here. I can easily see them pushing for a darker path with that episode and having some light episodes in between. But between Lonnie's dark descent that it's going through, whatever they might have Peter do, him and I don't know. I feel like the dude from the Wrecking Crew is not going to be all that bad. I feel like
I just think it was a cameo again, because we talked about cameos in the group chat. I could not unsee it. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I fully believe that might be them. I don't know if it's 100% there, but
I even asked Chris about this, and he's even like, it may be an homage.
Yeah,
it's we're at an age now where the people who grew up on the stuff now work on the things. Like back in the day, Greg used to be like, it's a hint. Like there was they put Kingdom Hearts in the Proud Family, and then the guy and the girl who worked on it, and they were just like, yeah, that wasn't planned. They just told us put a video game on this TV screen for this scene, and we just said, why not? We both played the game, so Kingdom Hearts and Penny Proud it is. There's no secret thing. This isn't a hint at Kingdom Hearts 4. We just both played the Disney game, and now we work for Disney. That's all that happened.
Pretty much. But no, it's just the whole idea of just, like I said, the 3 episodes so far, Spider-Man, you're familiar with Spider-Man, just seems to be setting up for a lot.
It's a competently told series. I wish we had a better Peter. And again, I'm past the dude doing what he said.
You see how quiet, you saw how all got all squashed immediately after this week, right?
Oh, yeah. No, that showrunner came in to run interference and then I still think he sounds too old to be a 16-year-old, which is my issue with it. Everybody sounds accurate, but he just sounds a little too old. I can see Harry turning on him, though. I don't see Norman yet. I do see Harry turning on him because he mentions how lonely and how much of an influencer. So the moment Peter stops showing him enough attention or starts like telling him, I need to focus, quit talking to me during the man at work stuff, I can see Harry flipping on him. The one thing I want to see, since we have seen somebody stabbed, we have seen blood, there is cursing, is I do want to see Lonnie physically turn into Tombstone. Like, I do want to see like the chemicals dumped on him that turns him into like
that's bound to happen.
Concrete Man.
Oh yeah, that's bound to happen. We know that's coming just because we see the eventual downfall. So it's like the completion of him becoming Tombstone is bound to happen. I'm not gonna say. Well, no, I am gonna say it. We might actually see that this season before we actually see anything, any turn down from any of the Osborns. So yeah, we're probably gonna wind up seeing that. We're probably gonna wind up seeing Tombstone very soon.
What if like the 110th Street gang goes to like a chemical plant or something, and Lonnie gets like chemicals dumped on him by like another gang or something.
That's probably how they're gonna set him up to be Tombstone.
And he can't go to school, which means that Pearl's gonna get worried and she's gonna move on. And then when Lonnie finds out about this, he's gonna start crashing out on Peter because he thinks that Peter did.
More than likely.
Probably gonna be. I can also see them trying to, because one, thank you for finally doing something with Scorpion. They literally took the Homecoming look and actually used it.
There's Scorpion in the show. I didn't see it.
Scorpion's not
the guy who stabbed.
Wait, say tomorrow.
Donovan.
The guy who stabbed Lonnie.
Oh, that's Scorpion?
That's him before the suit.
Okay.
I could see maybe he doesn't have the suit, but he has the poison. Maybe they go blow up wherever it's being stashed or created, and then we get Tombstone. It's just they built Lonnie up to be such this innocent kid who didn't deserve anything, and it's. I can also very much see Big Boss gets taken out soon, and Lonnie steps up to take over.
Yeah,
it's basically the Foot Clan from the first Ninja Turtles, just a bunch of kids, and the quarterback is a leader. He just now leads a different team.
The funny thing is the way Big Donovan looks is how Tombstone looks in the PS4 game. I'm fairly certain it's the same voice actor doing.
I think
Big
so.
Donovan.
He kind of does look like him though, except like he's not gray, he's black.
Like Big Donovan's voice actor, maybe Tombstone for the PS4 game.
And that guy got rehabilitated, and now he works on cars.
Yeah,
Coney Island.
Interesting, but either way, for what Spider-Man's for what you're feeling what Spider-Man's shaping up to, it's definitely gonna be a lot of guesswork as we still have 7 episodes to go.
6
or 7 episodes, one of the two. But
either way, we might get. I mean, I don't know if this is all going to be freshman year. I would be happy if we go up a school year every season. But I feel like season 1 tragedy, season 2 find solution, season 3 and 4 redemption, maybe for whoever they can.
Yeah.
Because right now he's still kind of green and being playful about everything, but it's like it's getting kind of serious here in the background. Because hey, Obi,
there he is. But what are you saying, Spark?
I like it. I'm very curious to see how the Civil War stuff plays. I'm curious if Peter gets recruited again, and if we see any fallout from Civil War lead into affecting the neighborhood. And if we are getting the Aunt May get got and Peter has to go publicly.
Oh, you broke up a little bit at the end, Tafara.
I'm hoping we get the if it is Civil War and we in Kingpin versus Peter in prison. I'm curious if we go that far.
Yeah, I would say that's probably gonna be more stuff for a second season, but I could see that. But either way, still a great 3 episodes as we wait for the next 3 episodes next Wednesday. But Invincible, season 3 started. We got the first 3 episodes of that. Tafara, have you had a chance to watch it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Same thing I said about before. Is Dream. They're not unnecessary. Literally, Mark proved as the fight was continuing. I'm like, what do you want the man to do?
I'm gonna be honest with you, because Mark was kind of getting on my nerves for a little bit.
Want to be on your side, dude, but you're not. You're literally not helping your case right.
He's a hypocrite. When it came down to it, it's like, wait a second. You want to be a Batman and don't kill. What's the first thing you do? You basically took him out because he basically pushed you. It's like you took out Angstrom Levy, and it's like, well, you saw what I did. I took out Angstrom Levy. I beat him with my bare hands. I shouldn't, he's always remorseful. But you have your brother who, at this point, your brother is stronger than you, faster than you, and has started to get your dad's starting to get Nolan's tendencies. The whole thing of, we're stronger than them, we're faster than them. What happens? This is what we're supposed to do to bad guys. As he literally goes through the twins. Well, goes through one twin, then just uppercuts the crap out of the other one. And then I will say this. I did like Cecil's backstory a little bit because it does actually show why he is the way he is. I still want to know what he did in that prison, though. You got set up with a Bigfoot of all monsters, and he's calling you boss by the end of it. Sir, what did you do in those 6 months in that prison that you were running it like the Kingpin? That's my freaking question.
Apparently, he was in there for 3 years.
Yeah. I'm sorry, 3 years. 3 years. That's right. But still, you got the biggest one scared of you as your muscle? That's saying a lot.
And I've seen, oh my God, the animation grifters on Twitter. Jesus Christ. I feel like I understand what Thanos meant. Knowledge is a curse. Not that serious. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe.
I actually put in a clip about the animation thing and put it in the group chat.
We got it?
Yeah, I'll go back and go get it.
Okay, because there's just the story has me captivated enough to where I'm not that like it's not like Blue Lock or My Hero Academia where they cut out entire scenes of animation to save budget. They just didn't want to do it. Or they cut out certain violent aspects, or they didn't want to showcase certain characters acting a certain way, even though character was transformed into that person, it wasn't actually them, or where the fights turn into a slideshow, for God's sake, or kind of like the cutscenes from Sparking Zero where it's just pictures. But I don't get we're not supposed to know this much about the process. I get it. They gave us this scene. They gave us the animation dump last year, which was funny. But dude, people are complaining way too much. Roll it.
Okay, let me get the audio.
Back of someone's head while they're talking for the same reason. Other times we'll do a wide shot, slowly pan across it. It looks like it's animated, but it's so far away, you don't notice. Nothing's moving. The best part is, because all these scenes have limited animation, we can make the drawings even better. But sometimes the artists get carried away and it kind of looks like a different show. It's crazy what you can get away with. Thanks for coming by.
Let me see if I can get to play at the beginning. Hang on.
Thanks, buddy. It means a lot.
I gotta ask, when's the new season of Seance Dog coming out?
You mean the show? Probably not for another year. Sorry, animation takes a long time.
Oh, I can't imagine how much work it must be for those fight scenes.
Yeah, those take a while, but we cut corners in other places to make it manageable. You ever notice that sometimes whoever's speaking has their mouth off camera so you never see their lips moving?
Huh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, or we'll cut to the back of someone's head while they're talking for the same reason. Other times we'll do a wide shot, slowly pan across it. It looks like it's animated, but it's so far away, you don't notice. Nothing's moving. The best part is, because all these scenes have limited animation, we can make the drawings even better. But sometimes the artists get carried away and it kind of looks like a different show. It's crazy what you can get away with. Thanks for coming by.
So they kind of just told themselves.
He told on himself, and if you notice the animation, everything he was saying was going right along with it.
And I feel like everyone took this and ran with it in more serious aspects than they should have. Like if you notice with Young Justice, they do that every time Miss Martian is on screen. They animate their mouths moving whenever she's there because they all talk telepathically, which saves them time to get more production done. But people are like, "Oh, look at the scene here, and look how he's sliding across." I'm like, one channel I watch sometimes, the Round Table, which God, Vox, I love you, but that last upload did not need to happen because it's just a bunch of weirdos with anime profile pictures. Like, "Oh, you don't have a good eye." I'm like, I just went to your channel. That what you just posted wasn't worth talking about either. I've just been going back every 6 hours, and it's just people I'm like, I didn't know this was an issue until Twitter told me, and that lets me know how valid it is. And then this guy comments like, "You just don't know, or you have low standards," and yada yada. And I'm just like, "Hey, friend, I can see you wrote the same comment. Under every top comment, here's a reply. You have a lot of free time. I think you should go outside." And then the next person, "Oh, you don't know good animation. This bad. It's not good." I'm like, "Hey, buddy, not sure if you just kept spamming the capitalization button or you were just with the randomizer, but maybe slow down."
Pretty much. But no, it was, I mean, I get what they're saying on the animation side, but overall with Invincible, really was weird getting 3 episodes. But to see Nolan and his companion still sitting in the prison that he's not going to leave until Nolan's ready to leave. Nolan's starting to actually get some human feelings because he's like, I think I'm ready to go back home. So it's kind of a little bit of a redemption arc there. But Mark's brother Oliver, that's going to be the story moving forward because
is it the purple guy?
Yeah, Oliver is the purple guy. That's Mark's brother. So the weird part about that is between him trying to have a relationship with Adam Eve still trying to repair her relationship with her family, and in the middle of it all, Doc Seismic really threw them all through a loop. But no, just what I got from these 3 episodes. The Viltrumite attack kind of took a back burner to everything, but we know that's coming. But at the same time, Mark actually getting stronger, but still being a little bit of a hypocrite. It was just that would be the one thing I would take away from these 3 episodes. Like, could we drop the whiny Mark? Could we drop the hypocritical Mark? Because
you could argue maybe Cecil should have been more upfront or being like, "Hey, I've been in your shoes and I did literal time because I felt the way you did." So killed Angstrom Levy. So there's also that, even if it was an accident. But it's just like in the process of saying, "Hey, Cecil does too much." It's like you can overkill. It's not unnecessary. I didn't even know Darkwing killed people in.
Yeah.
I know they said he was on a rampage, and because Mark stops him like mid save or whatever, and we didn't really. But he got to redeem himself. But between him and the Anti-Man, y'all got bodied by Doc Seismic of all people. So you'd all be. So why are we just bring that? Even if you don't like the methods, y'all could at least say, "Hey, be more straight up with us." Also, Cecil technically is not holding anyone hostage. Yes, you all back together, but you all could have left like a long time ago. Even the shrinking chick. Yeah, you're really not supposed to be alive right now. Like you were supposed to die to the what was it, the Lizard League or whatever the hell the name. Like you weren't supposed to come out of that. You only stayed because people liked you. But it's just.
But no, you're 100% right. It's just the whole thing of just. I go back to the line with Cecil. Cecil, when he went back to his former boss, that line stuck with me ever since he said it. He said you can either save the world, you can be a good guy, or you can save the world, but you can't be both. I was like, dang. Of the Christian Bale Batman writing loop, you just decided to throw that little tandem out there.
I feel like that's just Cecil being hard headed because it's like you haven't had any issues with being straight up with people thus far. So just you could have at least lied. If you're gonna lie, you could have just said, "Hey, he's in jail. We just stole his tech. Bodies are donated. If you could stop destroying government property," and then it's not killing him. It's just the sound just neutralizes him. So. Also, there's an army of you out there on the way. We kind of need this. I get it. You don't like it. But, and then choking out Cecil in front of everybody was also just like, hey, clearly there's 2 corpses here that your brother caused. And even when they had the talk with Oliver, it's like they didn't have any family, no one who cared. I'm like, they technically had each other, but they won't. I guess they won't be getting cloned back this time.
Right. But at the same time, that's why I said Mark was a little bit of a hypocrite, because Cecil's like, wait a minute. So you're mad at me for having an army of these things, having an army of men. You're mad at me for putting a device in your head that would neutralize you in case you decide to become your dad, and I'm the bad guy?
And
it's like,
why did you need to tell what was his best friend and his boyfriend, like, why did you need to tell them that? Like, of all, they did not need to know that information and be upset further when they're still dealing with that trauma. Like,
that's why I said it's crazy. Like, every decision he's made has literally been his own problem. I just love the fact that Cecil tries to sit there and say, look, man, I tried to do what you did, and look what happened to me. And he's like, eventually, I was trying to tell somebody today, you know what? Growing up, you wanted to be invincible. When you got older, you understood Cecil. You understood what Cecil was doing.
Yeah, finding out Cecil is like 90% robo skin graft, or Cecil is basically Dr. Shiro.
Yeah. And
actually, no, Cecil is metal cooler. He's only got that one actual piece of his face left.
But at the same time, though, when you understand why it's like, well, why do you have this white room? To protect me to protect you from me. It's like, because you're a danger. Yes, we trained you, but you are still dangerous. So yes, this is what this room is designed for. Which can you for, Jeff?
I would say, this is to protect me from everyone. This is my Batman contingency room. It would have at least sold a little bit better.
Right.
You have a split team and you don't want to admit that you probably could just be honest with them and get them back, but it's giving Jessica Jones season 3, the real villain is just egos and bad decisions.
Pretty much. What you gonna say, Jeb?
So when did Darkwing Duck start killing?
No, Dark. Well, drop the duck, but he's been killing since season 1.
I don't ever show.
They never showed him killing, but eventually Cecil always knew he did. It was like a necessary evil.
I've never even seen Invincible.
It's implied in one episode where he has 2 guys chained to a water tower and tells them, hey, I'll come get you when the sun comes. Next time we see sunlight in a town that's perpetually dark.
Right.
And then you see him zip by again. Those guys are skeletons.
Pretty
so
much.
He doesn't kill them directly, but he also leaves them for dead, and they do die.
And also, you should be watching Invincible. You're not yet, anyway.
That was Joe. Have you seen the new season?
I was gonna say, Joe, did you come back and watch? Did you come back to watch Invincible?
I've seen reels on like Instagram and whatnot.
Because I know you said it wasn't your forte. I was like, did Joe come back and watch episode season 3?
I'm more aware of it through the comic than I am anything else.
Fair enough.
Which is fine. Just it's the whole Mark and Cecil breakup is just it's hard to not see that it is 100% self-inflicted, maybe like 20% on Cecil's side.
Yeah.
Because he at least told him what the White Room was.
Yeah.
And there was room for negotiation. Hey, you need to be upfront with me about everything from this point forward. And Mark was just like, hey, my way or the highway, because I said so, even though the tactics I'm not a fan of literally just saved every hero on Earth because we all got kidnapped by the freaking Underminer from The Incredibles.
That's still
the
funny.
biggest issue I'm going to have is next season when the Viltrumites come in because, Chad, close your ears. Are they really going to do the sexual assault thing?
I was going to say the scene, but probably yes.
They're either going to go extreme with, like I said, Broly, Kakarot Crater, but an X-rated version. They're either going to do it with
that. Is not. No, go ahead, Tawar.
I'll say they're going to cop out B or cop out A is going to be he passes out and wakes up to her being done or getting dressed and leaving, saying, this is going to take a few times. Cop out 3, I'm human. I need emotions for this. And it's like, yeah, we got that info from your dad. Here's a stabby device that's going to go right down there and just drain what we need.
See, my thing is, I say it's probably going to be he wakes up and gets the Batman treatment. You see it. You don't really see it. You just get the after effects. It's like you just see her, put her clothes back on. He looks down, and the realization hits. That's what I think. I don't think I don't think Prime is going to be so bold to where they're actually going to go that route, just because that kind of borderlines into NC-17 territory. So yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be lights out. He wakes up. She's dressing. Pretty much the trauma hits from there. At least that's my guess. That's the best. That's the best way you can do that scene without actually doing the graphic scene from the novel. But again, we'll see. You can unplug your ears now. You can unplug your ears now.
Oh.
So, with that being said, the last show that we got, guys, is Dragon Ball Daima. The only thing I gotta sit there and say about all this is the fight between Goku and a Majin type still was a fun fight to watch. I am mad that he went Super Saiyan 3 at the end.
I'm not.
At the end, we get Super Saiyan 3. But I like this episode. It was a good fight scene. I love the fact that Vegeta was going to Kakarot and saying, "Where's Senzu Beans? I'm out."
No, it's like where's the bug pouch? It's like I guess it dropped. My favorite thing I've seen about this episode, I've seen someone's like, look, they brought back Jiren with a hat.
Yeah. That was still funny. But no, I think this is what we're on. This is the last episode, right? Or am I wrong?
We got 3 more episodes. I guarantee you next episode, this is how it's going to go. We fight through Super Saiyan 3. He's going to run out of energy. Goma's going to punch him, and he's going to land conveniently next to the bug bag. The question is, who fuses? Because we may not get Vegito. It could be the Boo Brothers.
It could, true.
Or we could get some weird fusion with like Glorio and Goku.
That'd be interesting. I still say it's going to be Vegeta and Goku, but you're right. It could be a different pairing.
It could be a different fusion we've never seen before. It may not be Vegito. It may not be Gogeta. It could be a demon fusion that is purely because of the fusion bugs.
Okule could become canon. Hercule, man.
Only if he came with him.
Right. Go on, say what you're going to say, Chad.
Wanna know why I'm called the Supreme Kai? Because all the other Kais are dead. South Kai, dead. North Kai, dead. West Kai, dead. All the other Kais are dead. I'm left because of Majin Buu.
So who does Supreme Kai?
Correct now.
So who does Supreme Kai fuse with
too
then?
much TV channel.
Right, but who does Supreme Kai fuse with then?
Goku.
So he would. So your guess is Supreme Kai would fuse with a Saiyan.
I don't know.
It's not impossible. These actual devices will let you fuse with anybody. There's not a complication or a specific type you can go with. So you could be right. You could be right that Supreme Kai could merge with Goku or Vegeta.
They could also become Kabir again because they're supposed to still be fused right now, aren't they?
Say what?
Yeah, they're supposed to be fused still.
So we could get Kibito back because they were still. I didn't think they undid themselves until like later in the Super.
Right. I mean that's also possible too, but
my
because
favorite thing is Ku is so proud that he lost. It's like I'm Majin Ku. I lost.
Hey, have that weight off your shoulders. It's a lot of pressure to have off. But
it's like, why are you telling them this? Like, what's the point? What are you doing?
But the next 3 episodes should definitely be interesting. Like I said, I'm curious to see what the next fight's going to be because now that we see Goku at Super Saiyan 3, which he has said repeatedly through Dragon Ball, that is the worst form to use because it takes too much energy it's the strongest Super Saiyan version, but it takes too much energy to use and keep that actual level. And he's sitting in the demon world on Super Saiyan 3 right now.
He even says, I really didn't want to have to do this.
Right. He did. Now, in his defense, he did say that. So
I will say the animation for the fights, all gorgeous. It's good comedy because everybody's like, wait, that thing in his head, where's your belt?
Right.
My stomach's cold.
And then we see the guy with what's his face with the third eye.
Goma.
Goma. Thank you. Couldn't think of save my life right now.
I would say I laughed the hardest when the old Namekian just rolls up on the Tamagami and just like, come on. And the Tamagami's like, what? Yeah? Really? Yeah?
It's still funny. I've never seen more subtle detailing of come on, he's just missing a stick. Do something. Just poke at him. Come on.
Like they hung on that forever. It's just like come on.
But either way,
so good. It was good comedy in it. Really nice animation. The opening fight. I feel so bad for Aransu though. I really do. Like her aspirations are to make the demon more terrible, but in the grand scheme of things, when the day is done, she is a single mother of 2 teenage idiots.
Pretty much. But either way, it'll definitely be a new this episode coming up. Like I said, I better see an elongated fight with him and S3. That's all I'm saying. I better see him and S3 and Vegeta get pissed and try to match him. That's all I'm hoping for. But Safari, what do you think?
I think it's decent. I think my dream for Tails coming back is definitely kaput as of this point, because I think we're done with this show altogether in the next few episodes. I don't see a need for a season 2. Thank you, Toriyama. One last wild ride. Been fun. Yeah. I'm curious to see, if we get... I'm curious to see what they do to wrap this up at the end and then kind of continue on to Super picked up.
I hope it's the Mordo arc in Super is my hope.
I hope not.
Wait, what? Like Mordo arc?
Moro arc is great when it's not the Moro arc where it's the interdimensional space prison breakout.
I was okay with that. I was okay with because that is a random Dragon Ball thing I've wanted to see for years. Is somebody coming to invade and everybody basically getting set up as like almost like Dynasty Warriors. Everyone has a checkpoint they have to defend, and everybody on their own. Which Tien did a good job. Yamcha got the redemption he's needed for like 3 decades.
Krillin does a decent job.
Literally, the Z fighters all are thrown into battle by themselves to like. I don't even think they lead. I think they lead squads, but they're technically on their own. Everybody's like a power user, and it does a good job of setting them up to at least redeem themselves and show themselves as the protectors of Earth once again, and redeeming what they failed to do in the Saiyan saga. That's part of why people want to animate it. The new forms are great, and how we get there is great. But everyone gets a moment to redeem themselves, and then it becomes a thing of you can't just power up with somebody who can literally snap your powers away. So
even the moment with Vegeta and Namek, where Vegeta like personally apologizes to the Namekian, I was like, I did very horrible things when I came here last time. I'm sorry, but the problem why Moro is so mid is the moment he becomes young Goat Man, it's just retreading Cell.
I can see that.
It's just retreading Cell. And then the Granola arc is just mid because it's just the early seasons of Namek where everybody gets a power boost constantly.
Well, they can also, let me leave that alone. There's other arcs they can cover, but I always want
that's really it. It's just Moro and Granola. That's it.
From the Dragon Ball superheroes on the YouTube channel, because that was a different arc, wasn't it?
No, that's non-canon promoting the card game.
Yeah, superhero. That's why it's kind of random of what fusions we can get, because superhero at least or superheroes lets you like kind of do that. Even the game lets random fusions between up to 5 characters, and that's cool. But for the manga, we have what is technically, it's all the Moro arc, but it's the Galactic Prison, then Moro, then the Survivor, which is great because Goku actually like kind of connects with his roots for once, while Superhero the movie is happening on Earth, and then catch up to the manga. But we get left on a 6-way brawl between 3 Saiyans and 3 half-breeds. So the man left us on a good cliffhanger, but I think they're setting up for Frieza to be the final villain, and all of them basically use these abilities to.
Hello, monkeys.
So we're gonna mention Black Frieza.
That Broly, controlled Super Saiyan 1 Broly is on par with Beast Mode Gohan.
You're not wrong.
That's gonna have to be another discussion.
No, because Broly is remember, Broly full out takes a few Super Saiyan God while they are shattering dimensions as they fight.
That's the point I'm getting at. Because Broly doesn't really have a top off level. He doesn't.
He only has 2 forms.
Right.
He only has Super Saiyan and then Legendary.
Right. Which the Legendary doesn't have a limit.
Which is why I kind of want to see what I was hoping we would see something with the tails come back, because basically that's what, at least they gave a reason why he's so broken. He kept the power of the Great Ape, but in human form, and
which is basically Super Saiyan 4.
He's basically at all times with the inability to turn it off.
Right.
Yeah.
Being stuck on a planet for 40 years and never drinking water till like your midlife crisis age.
And the first woman he meets, it turns out, will end up being his wife. Even though the God of Destruction kind of wants her.
That is a very quick and goofy battle they could easily give us. I think it was supposed to happen during the Future Trunks arc. There was a fight between Beerus and Vegeta. I think we didn't get to see.
Right.
They kind of explained like, yeah, all the powered up you guys do, all of it is literally unnecessary. We know that every single person in this show is showing off.
Yeah, because that's where Beerus explains to him that Ultra Instinct is not the only form you can learn.
Yeah.
That's what makes Ultra Ego.
It's not even I think, he kind of gets the idea for Ego there, but he pairs him with Beerus, gets put down in like 5 seconds, but he transforms without doing the whole glowy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Whis is like, there's literally no reason for any of you, even the people you guys fight, to do that. You're all just being show-offs, and it's technically a waste of energy. You're not focused. So then he flew without the flashiness. It's like, so you guys have been able to do that, but that shows like you're actually honed in. And even though it didn't work, I think that kind of leads to Ego.
Yeah.
That Ego fight was great.
Oh, that Ego fight was lovely.
I want to see Ultra Ego anime.
It will. How can I put this? There are independent animations of it out there right now. The official one, help me out here, fellas, hasn't came out, right? The official Ultra Ego transformation hasn't.
They colored it in a colored manga panel, but it's never been animated.
Yeah, they are holding those animation rights for dear life. They are, even Xenoverse has only got mods. They're not giving you a DLC, nothing. Like, which is kind of why I liked the liberties they took with Storm for Naruto, because the anime took forever, the manga was done, and this team at CyberConnect was like, y'all are finished, so we're just gonna tell it if that's cool. And they were just like, fine. We still have the rest of this war to finish, and we're gonna give you Naruto the in-between teenage years for 70 more episodes.
Which, by the way, Ninja Storm is still the only way I will experience Naruto.
I can tell you exactly. I got to 270 out of 500 episodes, and by the time I got there, using a bootleg site, Storm 4 dropped the first trailer, and they're like, "Hey, we did the cliffhanger in 3 because they weren't done and they didn't give us much to go off of, so we just left it hanging." Storm 4, they're like, we're finishing. And then they're like, by the way, here's some Boruto stuff because apparently they're getting a sequel show. That was great. That is a fun way to finish the story. Dragon Ball, on the other hand, is like, you all will get the same things and like it. And if we feel like being nice, but I'm curious to see if this ends, if Daima ends with a teaser to the next arc, to Super coming back, or to just leading up to, I don't know, Beerus having the Super Saiyan God dream.
That'll be interesting. But
for my hot take on Naruto, the Rescue Sasuke arc is still the worst arc out of all of them.
Which arc? Which arc?
Rescue Sasuke. It is trash for everything. It has moments, but ultimately it is trash. Everybody there is your only character growth is for Shikamaru and Choji. Neji doesn't have any character growth because he did that whole no longer racist in the one-on-one tournament. They had to literally take Ino out and make an excuse for him not being there because that man is too OP to exist.
Pretty much.
He's like, I went there and said, you get Choji Butterfly, you get Across the Forest Shikamaru 4D chess plan, you get Drunk Rock Lee against Bone Dude. And Rock Lee doesn't even make it out of that okay. That's why he's sidelined in the war. That man never wins outside of the first time he fought Sasuke.
No.
And then after everything, they reach him, and Sasuke is just, and I'm going to do this for the video. This is video only. Sasuke to everybody. I'm going with everybody else. I'm going with these guys. I want power.
Pretty much. But
we're
going to say something.
Well, I mean, remember at the time they set it up decently because they already said that they were stretched thin. So most of the were gone. All the girls were off on separate missions. Everyone was left. I don't know if they just. I'm blanking on the bug guy. Jesus, I'm so sorry.
In Shino, and the dog dude, his fight was the last time he was a main character. He gets relegated to background character just like Tintin after this arc.
Yeah, I don't know if they just forgot about Shino because they.
They literally said, the mangaka actually said he's too strong. We got to use him so he can take care of this himself.
Okay, because even I'm glad I'll say this. There was one filler they had, because if you remember, they took one of his people and one of I believe Ino's people for Danzo, and they get just bodied by Toby immediately, and used for reanimation. So I like that they at least gave Shino a fight against one of them and showcased, hey, our clan is kind of OP. Let's at least use this as an example. And now it's been relegated to a school teacher with weird goggles.
Like his thing, like they even say it's like, oh, he's on an S-class mission with his dad. It's like that's how OP this kid is.
That's what it was. Okay, so he was on a more advanced mission at the time. So yeah, I think they called it the boyhood arc because they were literally boys going to fight a man's mission. And even I was like, where is Kakashi? Is there not one adult y'all can send with him? Like, if anything else, someone else I think who deserved more was Asuma, because we never really talked much about him being the third Hokage's son, let alone him spending any time with his orphan nephew.
I mean, it doesn't really matter because we talk about him after things happen in Shippuden. But, like I said, I will always give it its graces. This is great writing for Sasuke, but ultimately that whole Rescue Sasuke arc is trash that has great moments, but everything else is just...
Boruto is a disgrace.
Huh?
Boruto is a disgrace.
You're not reading the current manga. You need to hush.
No, I'm talking about the TV show currently.
Who's talking about the TV show?
Me.
Him and the other kids who only have access to that.
It's $2 for the manga app.
Viz Media isn't working out for me right now.
I think Viz is low key. I think they realize that weekly TV's genre is dying. Once Boruto and One Piece are gone, and even One Piece is taking breaks now. I'm pretty sure
It's not coming back till April.
Exactly.
They caught up.
One Piece is on Netflix, so there's no point in just going on there.
Well, no, what we're saying is they're no longer doing filler. They recognize it's just better because I think maybe what's happening is they're looking at Bleach and Bleach getting constantly good ratings and watching is to do what Bleach is doing.
Wait, is Bleach over?
No.
Bleach isn't over. But what they're doing is they're getting to a certain point, stopping, letting things get caught up. You get better animation. People get breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just happening. It's why One Piece got caught up, and rather than going to a filler arc, they're going to Dragon Ball Kai it, the previous arcs, and make it more consistent so new people can jump in and still have time to move forward in the manga.
Right.
Even I think even the fillers for I think the Bleach fillers catch a break because they at least do some world building, whereas Naruto would be in the middle of a war and throw you into a 7-episode flashback,
Pretty much.
or take what was supposed to be a movie and split it into 6 episodes that happen at random.
Or my favorite, supposed to be in a war. Let's go shovel shit.
Yeah.
There was also that one. Like even the episode before Madara, with it, because I was asking that how many of these people are going to run into their siblings on the battlefield, and they had the episode called "The Rejects," where people are just like, "Oh, you've been gone for like 15 years, dude. You've been dead for like 6 years. Your kids are doing well. Sorry, your wife remarried. But the family's doing great." And then what is it? Kabuto is like, "All right, everybody, just go back to the other world. This is not working out for me. You're all fired."
Pretty much.
But even Bleach, they did good. Like you have Quincy's, you have Hollows. The fillers are like, by the way, you have vampires, you have zombies, you have fairies, you have these people.
Zanpakuto's turning on them.
Yeah, the Zanpakuto arc is to Bleach what the Bardock movie was to Dragon Ball. They liked it so much they actually kept some of those designs and like some of those backstories and used them for like the Blood War. Because
they literally canonize it in like a single sentence.
That is true.
That and I'm blanking on the guy's name who becomes Captain Commander.
Ginryu? Or not Ginryu, that is the actual Captain Commander.
Yeah, Koryu Shinsui.
Yeah, when Shinsui uses his Bankai, we never saw her before. That design is straight from the filler arc. So Kubo liked some of that stuff so much, he was like, we can actually take some of this.
And I hate that I can't talk about that because they cover his Bankai in the latest run of the 1,000-Year Blood War. That his Bankai really wasn't the one that we think it is. Oh, I can't talk about it. Dang it. Just if you watch 1,000-Year Blood War, you'll see a big difference in his Bankai because technically he was holding another Zanpakuto. Well, his Bankai was holding another Zanpakuto, which is weird, but like I said, it's.
I mean, that's a man who sleeps with a sword. Let's just say that. Let's just say like that.
And the fact, and it's also that she has his same injuries.
Yeah, it's weird. Like as Joe said, a romance with a sword is the best way I could put that. But
I never said a romance. I just said that's a man who sleeps with a sword.
I'm gonna go with romance just because I don't want anybody being like, "Hey, you said it wasn't." We said what we said. But that also being said, we got to go on to comics, guys. But before we do get to comics, we do want to shout out Rick's Comic City. Nashville's the one go-to place for comic books. So if you're in the Middle Tennessee area, check out the locations. One in Nashville, Tennessee, one in Clarksville, Tennessee. You'll see our face on their television shows. Why? Because they support us. We want to show them love, so they show us love. You can check out Rick's Comic City at their 2 local stores, their eBay shop, or their website at rickscomiccity.com. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, we say this all the time. Outside of supporting your local bookstore, supporting your local library, support physical media. We cannot say how many times, guys, that physical media is disappearing. Why? Because they want to control everything. If you want to be able to have your media, or if you're like a PlayStation, or if you're like a Sony PlayStation user right now, would love to have your disc. Well, because why? PlayStation Network is still down. We'll probably still be down for a while. But with physical media, you wouldn't have that problem. But support your local libraries, support your local bookstores. Whether it's comic books or not, they need your patronage. You go there for the experience. Again, guys, these are places to where you can meet friends, where you can establish relationships, and you can actually find some pretty cool stuff. I know I do it all the time over at Rick's Comic City, especially taking my sons to Free Comic Book Day and letting them experience things. So again, guys, if you do have the chance, and I hope you do, support your local comic book stores, support your local bookstores, support your libraries, support physical media. You will miss them when they are gone. With that being said, Joe, I do see that you got your comics up, sir. So whenever you're ready.
First up, we got JSA number 4, written by, and that is not how I change pages. Written by Jeff Lemire with art by Joey Vasquez and colors by Luis Guerrero. This is Dr. Midnight trying to escape the clutches of the the Injustice Society,
right?
And stumbling upon Obsidian. Very straightforward issue. We also see the Obsidian has stumbled upon Johnny Thunder, or what? No, Joaquin.
Joaquin.
Thunder. I just knew he had the genie. I just remember he had the genie. Very straightforward issue. It's fine. Nothing groundbreaking, but enjoyable.
Yeah, to see actually Dr. Midnight be trained and literally talk her way through scenarios like a MacGyver. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, no, that was fun. I like when they do stuff with Beth. Next up, Absolute Superman, number 4. This is written by Jason Aaron with art by Rafael Sandoval and colors by Ulysses Ariola. This was a very Lois focused issue, which I was fine with. Kind of had a hard time following this issue, honestly, to a little bit, because Superman just kind of drops in for like a hot second in this one.
I am so glad I'm not the only one. Okay, cool. I don't feel bad about that now, because, man, I felt like I was reading a Tom King novel. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, it was definitely laid out like Tom King, because it had the 9-panel thing and everything going.
Yeah.
But, man, like this one was a little hard to follow. Like, Superman shows up, saves Lois, and freezes over all the peacemakers, and then one of them, like, in the middle of thawing out, goes nuts and kills everybody in a room, and everyone's like, oh, we're going to have a hell of a time covering this up.
Oh, good old Christopher Smith, the original Peacemaker himself, was the one that did it. And then wakes up like he blacked out, like, what happened? You happened. Did we get him? No. What happened? You snapped.
Yeah, so it's fine.
It's okay. Like I said, I am so glad.
I like last issue better. I'll say this much.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Moving on over to Marvel, we got the Avengers written by Jed McKay with art by Farid Karami and colors by Federico Blee. They're on the casino world and trying to track down a data cache. But unfortunately for them, Black Cat's there. So we all know who's going to win this little heist game, because Kang has gone to Black Cat to steal this data cache. And we see why at the end of the issue.
Never thought I'd see that happen, especially what happened at the end, too. She's like, her price for doing all this was not money, but a reunion of sorts.
I do like that she flat out tells Kang, like, I don't need money. I do this for the experiences at this point. Money's kind of beneath me.
It really is, considering the fact of who she is by now. But yeah, it was a good issue.
Power Man Timeless. This is written by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, art by Bernard Chang, and colors by Marcelo Maiolo. They give you a rundown of the previous one shot of Timeless. I'm gonna be honest, I did not like this too much. I thought this was gonna lead into like a new event where this Luke Cage from the future comes down and tries to change the events to prevent his world from happening.
Yeah.
Instead we get this weird cosmic story, which normally I'm all about cosmic stories, but this was not great.
I'm just mad about the fact that how in the world do you give Luke Cage the power of Sentry, Iron Fist, and Hulk, but yet the way you written the story was just, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't good. It was hashed. It was forced. A lot of it was rushed. And at the same time, it's just like the antagonist that you put in, literally called the Knife, you know everything but about 5 seconds of him. It makes it hard to follow is what I'm getting at.
Which is really odd because Lansing and Kelly and Lansing usually are pretty good about telling good world building right off the bat. So this was weird. Like art was also kind of all over the place too. So like, just cannot recommend it. We tried it, cannot recommend.
I'm with you on that. It's just kind of hard to follow up with it.
Scarlet Witch number 9, written by Steve Orlando with art by Jacopo Camagni and Frank William. someone hired Felicia to break into Wanda's personal vault. Shenanigans ensue. I actually really like this. I laugh so hard sometimes.
That's still. It was interesting that we're this the sick. I mean, looks like we're gonna see a lot of Black Cat in
It's
various.
Jed McKay. It's Jed McKay, or Jed McKay's bread and butter was Black Cat. So even though this is a Steve Orlando book, like I'm okay with seeing Felicia around a lot of places.
Did they ever explain? Well, let me not give too much away because I wanted to then say, did she ever explain how she broke into the vault? Because even Scarlet Witch was like, "There's no way you could have broken through all of those incantations and spellbinders." And Felicia, and all you see is Black Cat go, "I'm Black Cat. What, you think you can keep me out of anything?"
I she shows it wearing like the Naruto-looking headband on her over her eyes. Like, girl, what are you cosplaying?
That was funny.
This I definitely recommend. And last book of the night, we're keeping it short because I am moving and got a lot of stuff going on. We need to check in on this book more, all of us. I know, even though too far I may be already checking this out. This is IDW Sonic, issue 76. This is the start of a new arc. Sonic is hanging out with the Chaotix. Amy is doing some other things. However, all of the IDW new characters are doing group therapy with each other over a campfire, discussing past events, what they want to do moving forward, people giving up positions, people taking new positions, talking about friendship, relationships, and ideologies moving forward. If you're not keeping up with this book, you should. It's actually one of the better Sonic books. A lot of good characters, especially Whisper and especially Tangle. I am really growing to like them. There's a horrifying arc early on in the series, and they just came out of something. I have not gotten there yet, but I'm catching up. I just read this one because, Sonic's always fun to read.
Now, I'm going to admit it's kind of been a while since I've read a Sonic the Hedgehog comic. I may have to go back and follow where the story is in this one because I did get a little bit lost, but I still want to give it a fair shot just because a lot of the characters I'm not familiar with. Some of the characters I am. Like Silver, Amy, Babe Cat. I understand those, but there were a few in there that I'm like, I have never heard of y'all. So I will say this is probably going to be one of the comics I'm just going to stick to and just read a little bit more just so I can actually get the more backstory on it, especially the fact that Sonic at one time teamed up with Robotnik and everybody's looking at him crazy right now. But I'm still giving it a fair shot.
Yeah, Robotnik's daughter's in this. And her little bug that is a broken badnik that is actually just a good little robot helper, kind of like Bob the Insecticon from IDW Transformers. They like having that one robotic bug that's always a good guy.
That is true.
To read this?
No, I didn't know that this run was still going. I remember I picked up on it on Free Comic Book Day. Like a year or two. I think I still have one of the books. Hold on.
Yeah, the 25 through 30s is terrifying.
Yeah, I still have like one of the books from 2021. Is this the same run still going?
Still the same run going. This is written by Ian Flynn with art by Aaron Hammerstorm and inks by Matt Frost, colors by Valentino Pinto. Yeah, keep up with this one. I am very much enjoying the IDW Sonic. It does go places I did not think it was going to. Characters interact much differently. There is no Saturday morning cartoon cast, which is a little kind of a bummer, but we do get good replacements. Like no Benny Rabbit, but the sheep character they have in there is pretty good.
Yeah.
Instead of Nicole, we get that Beetle girl who's running the freedom fighter resistance government because Amy stepped down. Tails is still a super genius. Silver is kind of a fanboy. Tangle may or may not be Sonic's girlfriend. And Whisper is just really, really fun to read sometimes because she is absolutely terrifying.
Well, good to know. But thanks, Joe, for that. For those comics, sir, we do appreciate it. And also, we do thank everybody because they usually have comments. We're going to go ahead and call up. But before we do, shameless plugging as usual. I will start with the man, the myth, the legend, Tafari TV. So you let people know what you're up to, what you're doing.
Still posting on the regular. I am currently in the middle of doing my unboxings for Black History Month. I currently have 8. I'm doing them every other day. I possibly have 10 planned, so be on the lookout for those through, because I'm looking at my calendar right now. 16, 17, 18. Possibly going to have those going through the 19th. I'm still streaming tomorrow. I am hopefully going to be finishing Jack and Daxter and starting Sly 3. Sunday, I may be doing The Walking Dead, chapter 3 of season 3. We are running fades for Francine. I tried to keep her alive. It's not possible. I'm also not Conrad, like every other YouTuber on this planet. What else is going on? Blurred Station. We are advertising for BlurredCon, so if you know anybody who wants help with promoting or commercial work, we're also in the middle of doing that. I also had to film just another unboxing today, so thank you to my man Ozzy for sending these over. These are on the site as of right now. I'm trying to think of I'm doing 1,000 things at once, so stay tuned.
Fair enough. Yeah, those shirts look fire. Joe, I know you said you're moving, sir, but let people know what you're up to doing besides moving and whatnot.
I am playing SD Gundam Battle Alliance, Little Robots, Large Traumas. I'm not wrong. Everybody has a traumatic past in that series. Some larger than others. Doing that, playing Synduality, Echo's thing, which is that mech extraction shooter. I finally made it to the second area of the game, and the game just updated to give me a third area. So that's going to keep going. Again, for those watching me, you're bad luck. I always go bust on those missions. Both my robot chassis blow up while you guys watch me play. I don't know what it is. Just watch it on the playback. Maybe I'll actually show some successful missions. I'm currently in the process of collecting items to renovate my base to make it more efficient and give me more perks. I think I'm trying to upgrade the bedroom now because that gives my mech more the ability to get its special abilities quicker.
Uh-huh.
Like you do a lot of different things. Like I got 80 billion things I can do. Like I just got a piggy bank that my AI companion will start saving money offline while I don't play, and then I can go in and collect that money extra.
Nice.
But I can also upgrade that piggy bank for more money. So, or faster time frame. I forget which. So, going out, hunting, blowing up, watching on playback. Other than that, I'm moving, breaking down stuff. I packed all 4 boxes of Transformers and Megazords of various types and nationalities. So, next is this section of the room. And then moving day, yes. And then I'll be probably broadcasting for a different position. So I may not be here Friday if we have a show Friday, or I have no idea what we're doing.
Are we going to
work it out? We'll probably work it out.
Well, are we going to have a show Friday? Because it's Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day, so we're probably not.
And Captain America Day.
And Captain
America. It's also Captain America, so probably not.
So there we go. I'm in the middle of and I don't know what's going on. I am both terrified and excited.
That sounds about right for moving day. But yes, because next Friday is Valentine's Day, no show. Because also that and Captain America New World Order. So no show Friday, but again, we'll be back the next Friday with that. Before I get to myself, some shameless plugging as usual, guys. As far as I said, shout out to BlurStation.com. They are doing promotions. If you do want to be promoted on BlurStation, excuse me, just basically go to BlurStation.com, and actually you can go down to where it will explain about what you can get with BlurStation as far as tiers, things that nature goes. If you do also want to join BlurStation, because again, it is the table, it is the area to where our content, our viewership, most importantly, our dollars should be going to. Again, we've seen what happens with Tubi. Tubi is owned by the same guy that owns Fox. Tubi is also well worth over $100 million. So again, that $100 million could basically be us because that is generated by us. Simply put, guys, go to BlurStation.com, hit the join now buttons of the Bird's Eye View Affinity membership. Anybody there, whether myself, Black Spartan, Fire TV, anybody else there that you guys can see, you can definitely select them as the affiliate. We would appreciate that. At the same time, guys, it's still $10.99 a month to view and stream BlurStation. $10.99 a month. You cannot beat that with a stick. Again, if you are about advertising on BlurStation for whatever that you may be selling or doing or advertising or things of that nature, definitely check out BlurStation.com, and you'll be able to find the FAQ section to where you'll be able to get your content advertised on a very popular and booming streaming site. Aside from that, guys, check out Always Press Recorder, APR TV. Why? Because our shows are showing on there. Definitely go to APR TV as an app on your smart devices, or go to the website at alwayspressrecord.com. Again, another table to where our content, our viewership, our dollars can go to and should be going to, because why? We've been making other networks rich. Why not one of our own? So definitely check out APR TV or alwayspressrecord.com on devices. Now, as far as that, guys, because now it's time for my number. I want to thank my son Chad for being on with me tonight. You can find me, Black_Spartan615, but you can find the show. The show has its own IG pages, guys. Definitely check out Getting Gibbit Podcast 3372 or the GB Podcast. However you find us on IG, you can find us that way. You can also find us on YouTube at the GB Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. We would certainly appreciate it all, guys, because we cannot do this without you. The podcast itself does have audio and videos wherever you can find them, whether they're Apple Music, Google Play, Spotify, various areas that you can find it. You can download it, you can listen to it, you can watch it. The thing about it is, guys, we need that participation. We cannot do any of this, again, without you. You can definitely follow me at Black_Spartan605. Just don't be weird, because I don't want to get into the point of having to ban people or starting to use certain buttons to get rid of folks. Again, guys, keep it clean, keep it nice. I'm friendly, and I'll do the same thing back to you. Now, with that being said, guys, like we said, next Friday is Valentine's Day. No show, no new show for us there. You might actually see a repeat of a show from the archives as far as that goes. Hopefully, Friday after next, we'll be able to talk to you about Captain America movie and all those things of that nature. We'll probably be able to talk to you about the next Sony PSN if they haven't fixed their network issues by then. And basically, whatever news comes down the pipe, we'll definitely cover it back there. The Friday after Valentine's Day, Saying Get Bit Time, Saying Get Bit channel. As I usually say, guys, the rules still apply. Respect the cosplayer at all times. Wash your ass. We are in a heavy flu, COVID, tuberculosis. Yes, tuberculosis. I never thought I'd say that name again. Pretty much, it is a flu. It is a sick season, guys. Again, wash your ass. Wash your clothes. Be very careful. Be very mindful, because, again, it is way too easy to get sick, and I got kids. I don't need them sick either. And the third rule I keep on talking about, guys, in a world that is cruel and unkind, be nice, be kind. Talk and share your fandoms. Invite people to cons. Invite people to D&D campaigns like we do on Blurred's Eye View that's up for the world to see. We're still having fun with it. I still may invite Navy Montel once he's free to actually maybe start one over here just to see how we for all of us that enjoy D&D. But again, guys, do all of these things, and most importantly, don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. But as we wrap this up, fellas, any last words before we call it a night?
Have a good weekend,
Joe.
Super Bowl.
Oh, it is Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is Super Bowl. I heard no one's getting paid for that.
Yeah, celebrities never get paid for performing at Super Bowl.
Legitimately, they are not getting paid. The halftime singers are not getting paid.
Yeah,
so weird.
I still want to hear Mustard one good time. Anyway,
That's that.
with that being said, guys, I'm sorry. Did you have any last words, son?
Yes.
Nope, he's had enough.
Darkwing Duck.
That's not a word. That's a name.
He's my son. That's Tafari. That's Joe, and this is me for the podcast, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Check on your loved ones. Don't get depressed. Find ways to make yourself happy, and I promise we'll get through this.
And play Fortnite.
Peace.